Welcome to the Death Taco Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, and today I'm here joined by Luke Goff, host and creator of the Lucas Shirley Show.
What's going on?
Hey, another day in paradise, bro.
Hell yeah, it is, man.
So today we're here to talk about the 2012 American anthology horror comedy film, The ABCs of Death. So to call this motherfucker a horror comedy is a stretch. Like, I mean, there's some silly shit in there, bro, but there's definitely not a comedy movie.
Right. Well, it's the fact that it has 26 different directors, right? It's like I almost look at it as each one. Some of it's like, okay, that's funny, like the fart thing and stuff like that. It's like that's pretty funny. But then like some other stuff, you're like, ooh, either it's like some of them were like I thought either stupid, funny, or like some I'm like, oh man, that's pretty trippy, or that's like actually a pretty cool,
Bro, they got some dark shit in there.
Yeah,
those are my
sure.
favorites. One of the darkest fucking premises.
Yeah.
Like there's some real next level. Like a disclaimer before we even keep going. Like, Mom, if you're watching this, don't watch this fucking movie, okay? Like, some people just aren't meant to watch this movie.
Oh, yeah, my mom came in. I was watching it with my boy, and my mom came by and was like, what the fuck are you watching? And I was like, I'm going on a podcast tomorrow, so I'm watching this. I was like, it's actually pretty cool. She's like, But, you know, the weird thing with me is, like, I can't, dude, anything intense, I can't eat and watch anything if it's intense, because I'm weird like that. Like, anything that's gross, I can't eat and watch, because then I think about my food, and then, so I was, like, eating, and I was like, I'll eat later. I'll just watch this and eat later.
I got a great story about towards the end of that movie, because it's, like, 2.5 hours long.
Yeah,
right?
it was long. I didn't realize how long. It went by quick, though, I felt like.
Well, yeah, because of the way they chop up each fucking short. But,
Right.
Like, it was so long that I think I watched 2 hours of it a day or two ago, and then I just finished, like, the last 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know, fucking literally right before you pulled up. I mean, I've seen this movie, like, 3 times, but still I like to keep it fresh right before we do one of these.
Right.
But, nah, dude, this is definitely all over the place. Like, I don't know how... It's definitely probably one of the purest anthologies because none of them are fucking connected whatsoever.
Right. Yeah, that's one thing I was wondering, like, because when I first watched it and I saw where it's like the apocalypse one, and I was like, I wonder if all this is going to connect. But no, it definitely doesn't. And I kind of, it's almost kind of fresh too, because like in the beginning, they already explained like this is 26 different, directors, I guess depicting death or whatever. But, no, I mean, because if you watch, have you ever watched Faces of Death?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what this kind of reminded me of, almost like a newer version, but obviously more like it has a story. It's not trying to be a fake documentary or something like that. You know?
Yeah. Like, you ever seen the VHS movies?
Yeah, he directed one of them, didn't he?
Yeah, there's a guy in there from that did one of these, but it's very similar to that where, because that's how I actually found this movie. Is I think I was on Reddit a couple years ago and I was looking up, found footage movies, and this was recommended as a horror found footage, which I don't think there was even any found footage in it. But
no, I don't think so. I think, you know what? The cat one, where she's fucking stomping on the cat or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, what's so crazy is when I saw that, I thought that one was super cool because, that's so fucked up to say, but that one was super cool because, I remember Best Gore and all that shit. Like, people put the fucked up real videos on their website and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I remember my buddy's brother like telling me that exact scene like way before that movie came out. Like, dude, it's like crazy. He's like stomping on this cat and this chick in high heels is
I've
like.
still heard of that.
it.
That's still a thing. Like, people fucking just stepping on
I'm sure,
cats.
yeah. Well, and then they have the video camera ready and shit like that. And I was like, dude, this is crazy because it's actually real. Like, this shit actually happens. You know what I mean? And that to me is like I can watch a horror film that it's maybe a ghost. A lot of times if it's demon shit like that, sometimes I think that shit's real, and if it's not exaggerated too much, it will scare me. But the things that scare me the most is when it's like, oh, that shit can really happen.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the horror genre, man. Like, you can get all types of different shit. Like, either the atmosphere, the tone, visually something could fuck with you, the practical effects you could admire. That's why I chose, to do a horror movie podcast, is there's just so much different shit you can appreciate.
Right. Right.
Some of them could be silly. Some of them, obviously, that's why, we're doing the ABCs of Death. And there's one in particular in here that I don't know if you caught it, but that has a very heavy sense of tone. I'm gonna go down these in alphabetical fucking order
right,
just
let's
to
get
knock
it.
them out. But so we'll get to all of those. But yeah, to build this up, guys, if you haven't seen it yet, I recommend you going to check it out. We're gonna get deep into spoilers, so let's get it.
All right, let's go. Hell yeah.
I was gonna like write all this shit down and take notes.
I was too, man. I was gonna look up shit and be like, maybe there's other meanings, but I was like, I got it all. So
I started it and then like I realized Wikipedia just has them fucking bullet pointed with the fucking descriptions. I was like, why not?
yeah.
But no, so we start off with A is for Apocalypse by Nacho Vigolando. And also, about 20 of these directors, this is like their only credit. So there's only a handful that actually had big movies.
Yeah, like the VHS guy and a couple others.
But yeah, so A is for Apocalypse. So that's the one where there's a guy on a bed, lady walks in the room with no context. She just starts trying to stab this fucking guy.
Right. Yeah.
And then the practical effects in that one is fucking crazy. Because remember, her knife like goes into the dude's hand and his hand's like split.
Yeah.
And then she goes, gets a pan of oil, dunks it on his ass. Fucker's still alive. Then she starts beating him on the head. And then they sit together and there's a monologue where she was like, I wanted to kill you before the fucking whatever about to happen and happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see like a light outside the window and apparently a meteor was falling, right?
Was that what that was?
I'm pretty sure
Okay.
an asteroid was coming to hit the planet.
Okay, that makes sense. Because it's like, reminds me of all my shitty past relationships. Like, fuck you, then I love you. Because, like, she's trying to kill him. And then, yeah, splits his hand. And then she's just laying on his chest, like, or on his shoulder, like, I was going to kill you and all this. I wish we had more time. I was like, what the fuck? But, that was... I actually like how they give no context. It just comes like right out the gate.
Real aggressive, right?
Yeah, to start the movie for sure.
Like it definitely set a good tone. Like, all right, this isn't gonna be just your average horror film,
right? It's gonna be different for sure.
But so speaking of asteroids, so if an asteroid was coming to Earth, would you want to be given notice?
Probably because I want to go probably do some shit, like not like kill anybody, but I want to go do some shit like
I like how that was an option.
Yeah, like, I want to go do some shit. I'm gonna fucking hold up a liquor store. No, I would want to do some stuff before, like fulfill my life, I guess, beforehand. Maybe go to the strip club or something. I don't know.
That's number 2 on the bucket list. Okay, but also it depends how much time you're given. Like, what if you're only given a day?
Like, what would I do? I don't know, dude. It'd be so in the moment. I feel like I'd want to go skydiving, but I don't know if I'd want to go if there's a fucking meteor. You know what I mean? Like why would I
be in the midair as the fucking meteor's coming down,
over?
bro?
Actually, I might want to do that. Honestly, that'd be kind of cool. I don't know. Yeah, it'd be something outrageous. Like, I'd want to either go to... God, but you have a day, so you can't... It's kind of hard to go to another country in a day, unless it's, like, Mexico or Canada.
You'd, like, pull up to the other country as the asteroid hit the Earth.
Exactly. Because, like, you can get to Mexico in, like, 3 hours, right? From here on plane. But no planes are going to be open.
Drive, yeah.
Yeah, definitely not drive, but planes aren't going to be open, so...
Well, here's the problem with that. If you know that the asteroid's coming, the rest of the world knows.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers are going to go wild, bro.
Right.
I mean, we had the fucking lockdown
like
for 2 weeks, and everybody bought all the toilet paper in the goddamn city. So imagine if they found out that an asteroid was coming. Would they even fucking panic buy, or would people just start looting and just stealing shit?
Well, but what the point is stealing shit, because you're only going to use it for a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess I kind of would be like, I get a PS5, like fuck it,
Some guy just wants to Fortnite till the fucking world ends.
Right. But I feel like there'd be so many people. Dude, you know what would happen? It'd get politicized. It'd be so politicized, I feel like. It'd be like, the right's doing this and then the left's doing that. Like, you know what I mean? You don't even know where it's going to go. Because
it'd be some type of spin on everything.
Yeah, it'd be some type of spin on everything. Because it'd be like, I don't know, maybe the left is like, fuck it, going out and partying, saying fuck it, and then the right is like trying to build something
like
in a day. Yeah,
shit.
Bunkers and go live down there to survive. Actually, it might not be, because that's a weird situation, but I don't know. I didn't think the virus would be politicized, and it did, so.
You never know, man.
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't want to know. I'd want to just be going about my daily business. You look up in the sky, it looks funny, and then the lights go out.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a lot of fucked up anticipation.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because you'd be really scared.
There's a movie called I think it's like Finding a Friend at the End of the World, and that's exactly what that's fucking
yeah,
about.
Who was in that? Was that like Steve Carell or who
Steve
was
Carell from the 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah.
And some really pretty chick. I don't know, but that's exactly what that's about. They're spending like a week just bullshitting together, and at the end of it, spoiler guys, the fucking asteroid kills them both.
Wow, that's wild.
Dark as fuck.
I don't know. Maybe I would skydive so I could be right next to the meteor. I want to be a part, like jump on the meteor.
Just try to like steer it away from the world, bro. Like the
maybe,
Iron Giant
yeah.
or some shit.
Be like try to sacrifice myself. But you know what? What if people do survive the asteroid? You know what I mean?
It's possible.
Yeah.
Because I mean, alligators did it, right?
Yeah.
Because they were around when dinosaurs were here, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's also tough to fucking kill an alligator. They got that skin, man. They got that, like, you can't use a shotgun. You gotta, like, get a 22 because it pierces through them or whatever.
I've never seen an alligator, bro.
I haven't either. I don't want to. That's my biggest head. Dude, I wanted to move to Florida, but I was like, no, I love my dog too much. I see too many videos of, like, alligators getting...
just, like, fucking munching on them.
Yeah, fuck that. I love my dog, man. I'm not doing that.
Shit. But nah, so in this short, A is for Apocalypse. The guy's bedridden, and she says that she had been poisoning him for some time. Have you ever had a female cook for you?
Yeah.
Does the thought ever like cross your mind?
No, yeah, it does because no, you know what? That actually funny you brought that up. I thought of that. She's like, I've been poisoning you for some time because that shit kind of scared me a little bit because that's real. Like, dude, there's like cases of women like changing aspirin and ibuprofen to like some fucked up something that poisons them, right?
Like cyanide or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust the chick. I'm more scared of just it being really tasting like shit. That's what I'm more scared of because I've had that happen. I had a girl make breakfast for me, and I was like, "Oh, this is good." You know, it was like, and she was a good cook, but she didn't make it.
She missed the mark that one time.
She missed the mark bad. It was the first time she cooked for me too. So,
I'm fortunate that my girl's like a halfway decent cook. So she's gonna be pissed that I said halfway decent. She's fucking amazing.
Yeah, let's edit that out.
Yeah. Nah, but so the way I rate movies is a scale of 1 to 6 inches.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have a guess as to why I rate them from 1 to 6 inches?
No, why?
Well, because I googled the length of the average taco.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something else.
That's what everybody thinks.
Okay, I was about to say. I was like, are you talking about the average size schlong here?
It's definitely like one of those double entendres, man. Like,
yeah.
However you feel like in the moment. But so A is for Apocalypse. Scale of 1 to 6, what do you give it?
A is for Apocalypse. I'd say 3. I'd go half market.
That's fair. Like it's not a great, but it didn't deter.
Yeah. Well, and plus it's like, it starts it off. You know what I mean? So it's like, it was intense. It was a good way to start it off. So I'd want to give it more than 3 because it started off pretty good, but because it's so intense. But I'm gonna have to just give it a 3 because there still wasn't much more to it than just the.
It was pretty much just those effects and then the twist at the end, and that's pretty much all it had to offer.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you. I stay with the 3 also. Mm-hmm. Now the next one, B is for Bigfoot by Adrian Garcia Boliano. Now this one is in Spanish, so it's a Mexican film, I believe. A lot of these are foreign films. This one starts off with some Hispanic kids making out, fooling around in an apartment. Not kids, they're like in their 20s, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And they get cock blocked by some little girl.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy tries to shoo her away. I guess he's babysitting her, and he starts to tell her some story, right? Like, cause she's like, "Why do I have to be asleep by 8?" And he's like, "Well, don't you know? There's a Bigfoot out there,
Right?
You know, the Mexican Bigfoot that everybody knows about." And his girl, who has the greatest timing of all time, just comes in right behind the dude.
That
like
was
a campfire
cool, yeah.
story, and she like just caps off the fucking thing. And she gives like these real explicit details, like, is she the one who says like, there was some war in the 1950s
Yeah.
between the snowmen and
Yeah,
fucking
I love how she comes in and like she's like, any idiot would know there's no, because it was like Abominable Snowman, Bigfoot or whatever. There's no snow here, but there was a long time ago. I was like, oh yeah, that's how you fool a kid. I was like, it's kids are more smart than you think, so you can't just say, oh, there's an Abominable Snowman in Mexico where there's never no snow. And they're like, there was actually, and her tone was great.
she did like a hardcore riff off of like what that got started. She was
Yeah.
like, there was a great winter, and the government made an agreement with Bigfoot in the 50s not to come into town, and he could only take children that didn't sleep after 8, right?
Right.
And then the boyfriend says something like, yeah, he'll take your heart out of your chest and eat it in front of you or some shit. So anyways, little girl starts to go to sleep, right? And they go back and immediately start to bang. And this is the first time we see boobs.
Yeah, it was great.
It's fantastic. And I liked how the sex scene they had is her up against the window, holding the curtain open
Yeah,
with her
it was
fucking
intense.
hand, and like her face pressed against the glass. And as that's happening, some dude's pushing a trash can, like a cart with like I thought it was a janitor's cart.
Right.
He's got like a trench coat, long hair, kind of looks like Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, he does.
And he notices the couple going at it because they're right against this fucking window. So he knocks on the door, and somehow immediately the guy knows it's the garbage man who comes at night. I've never been to Mexico. I don't know if that's a real thing.
I don't know. I think, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why though. Hey, I'm getting your garbage. Just letting you know.
He didn't say anything. He just hears a knock, and he's like, "Oh, it's the garbage man."
Well, what got me was like when he opened it, he looked at him like he knew Bigfoot. You know what I mean? Like he's like, "Oh, hey, what's going on?" And then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, wait!" Like it was such a late reaction. I was like, "My first got hair everywhere." Like if you open it, you'd be like, "What the fuck is this? This ain't the garbage man."
He got like a fat ass scar on his face and shit, didn't
Yeah, yeah, he had like scars and stuff. He was looking weird and shit.
he? And after that, it's the POV from the little girl, right? And she just like kind of hears the scuffle go on outside.
Yeah.
And then when she looks up, she sees the guy's girlfriend. She's got a big ass hole in her chest, a big old fat CGI hole.
Yeah.
I remember it looked very questionable.
Yeah.
So she falls, and the girl puts the blanket over her head, starts counting, right? Counting sheep, I think.
Yeah. She was.
And,
Yeah.
so the Bigfoot guy, he ignores her. He leaves with like trash bags that I'm assuming that has this couple's bodies in them.
Right.
And that's the end of that short. B is for Bigfoot. This one I didn't care for too much.
I didn't either. The first two I had to read subtitles. So, well, that was the downfall of both of them. But then I was like, I guess I'm okay with reading subtitles. But as a general, I didn't really care for it as well. I thought it was kind of lame.
Yeah, it was dialogue heavy. That's the problem I have with some movies is like, you show me, don't tell me.
Yes. That's like a number one rule. Well, and plus, like, the 26 different directors around the world, they're obviously going to be in different languages. So you're already roping people in from around the world to watch the movie. And that's the one thing. I don't know which one it was. It was a lot of them. They showed not told, and that's one thought I had. I was like, dude, I actually really respect this film because it goes off of like you're gonna be scared of the actions and like basically what the film has to offer, not just like, oh, there's an abominable snowman outside, you know what I mean?
I hadn't even thought of what you just said. Like, so some of these movies, like you said, are from all over the world, but even though some of the movies didn't have any dialogue that were from a foreign country, but just they didn't use any dialogue, they just showed you whatever it was, and you understood. Like, it didn't matter where the fuck it was from. Like, you knew what was going on, even though they didn't even really have any dialogue.
Right.
So that's definitely a cool thing that some of these shorts do that this one didn't.
Yeah, it wasn't played very smart. Like he said, like it's like, and I get it, but like I said, if you're showing a movie, like if I'm just looking at it as like a marketing standpoint, and like actually like wanting to like be a good scary film, like a scary short. In general, you watch most scary shorts, there's hardly any dialogue because they're trying to scare you quick. You got like 5 minutes, man. Scare me. You can't just talk. And also, like, I'm sure all around the world, well, maybe, I don't know. I know in Europe a lot of people speak different languages, but like all around the world, if you don't understand something, like sometimes like watching too many subtitles irritate you. You're like, well, I want to watch this and then read at the same time. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah. I think that knocked this film for me too because I was taking notes for like the first 20 of these. So for this one, like I had to pause and go back. Like, wait, so the war happened when?
yeah,
Like that
yeah.
kind of goofy shit happened. But like I didn't hate this one. Like there's some in this fucking anthology, bro, that I can't stand. This wasn't one of them. This I didn't care for it, but I didn't hate it.
hmm
So me, I'm gonna go 2 out of 6 for this one.
2 out of 6. I really didn't like it, so I'm gonna probably give it like 1.5 out of 6. Honestly.
Yeah, a big knock for me on this was the conception of the Bigfoot guy. Like it was kind of lazy. Like it's just a guy with a trench coat, long hair, and his face
scars.
is dirty.
Yeah, I will give it. I will give it though. The scars and stuff. Every time you see Bigfoot, it usually doesn't look like that. You know what I mean? He looks different then. So I give him that. Like he
They
actually
try to do
looks,
something different.
They try to do something different. But you're right. It was lazy. It's like a trench coat and all that. It's like, man, you could have did is something more. And another thing is like if you watch Michael Myers or something or Jason, like the cool thing about it is it's like, what the fuck is under the mask? Like, what do they look like? You know what I mean? And then you might get a like almost sometimes during the like series you'll see his face, right? Like a glimpse of it. You're like, oh god, that's what he looks like. That's creepy. Like showing too much of Bigfoot is like, okay, now I'm not.
That takes
scared.
away some of the mystique.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you went 1.5. I go 2. B is for Bigfoot, not the best. All right, so next up we got C is for Cycle by Ernesto Diaz Espinoza. This one was confusing to me.
You're gonna have to remind me about it.
So C is for Cycle. It starts off with some dude watering his garden, and there's like a pile of blood on the floor. And for some reason, he's like really fixated on this bush in his backyard. He ends up ignoring it and goes inside. He goes to bed with his woman. She hears a noise in the night. He goes to check it out. He does the most nonchalant like scan of this room I've seen in a while. He just stands in one corner like a security camera. He looks left, right. Nobody's here. Goes back to bed. And the next morning, he goes to his backyard again, and again he's staring at this bush. It's like some black hole looking thing. He passes out. He wakes up in the grass in the night. He goes into his house, and he goes to his bedroom, and he sees his wife is laying with himself. So a clone, something. And he goes back to the living room, and he makes a noise, and it ends up being that he was the one who had made the noise the night before. So he's reliving that scene from a different point of view.
Okay.
And so the next day, I think he goes to... It's confusing as shit. At some point, he strangles himself. Let's just go with that.
Dude, I swear, I've watched every one of them, but I do not remember this one. I have no idea why. This will probably be the only one I don't remember. I promise.
Yeah, because, like, this one is... like it's some black hole, I guess, some time warp, some interdimensional alternate reality shit. It was just confusing. Like as I'm explaining it to you, I'm fucking confused, like recanting the damn thing. And at the end of it, like I said, his clone strangles him, throws his body into the vortex or whatever it is, and that C is for Cycle. So. Do you believe in like wormholes and shit?
Yes.
Alternate realities,
yes,
portals? I don't, but I wish I wish they were real.
Dude, I do because there was my buddy was telling me yesterday, like, and it kind of goes along with that. Like, you see a clone, you go in a wormhole. Like, what if he went to the dimension that he was in, right? And you know, like, there's theories that like, okay, we could be doing this podcast right now, but in another dimension, we're doing it with that over here, this over here. Everything's backwards, right?
Me and you were in different chairs.
Right, yeah, me and you were in different chairs. It's 1 second behind, right? So there's this weird story this guy like was telling, and obviously it's from some random dude who did DMT. So it's like it could be just a bullshit story.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because my buddy, we were talking about it, and he was telling me, he's like, dude, I was reading this. I think he said it was on a podcast. Oh, excuse me. So And so I guess he did this DMT trip. And like, you know, if you're familiar with people doing, I've never done it, but people talking about DMT, like they they say they almost go to another dimension. So he said that he went somewhere, and when he came back, he said all of his friends, his family would tell him stories, and they would be like off. Like he says, he remembers the stories that tell him, like, "Oh, you fell down in that chair," or he said they're like so subtly different. Like that's not how that. I know for a fact that's not that how. Like if I said, "Yeah, we turned down the street, I went right," it's like, "No, dude, we went left. What are you talking about?" Like I know for a fact I remember we went left, and everybody like, you know what I mean. But it's like real specific. He's like, "Dude, it's just little things. Like every story I'm told is a little bit different."
So he's like hardcore Mandela effect.
Basically, and what I'm thinking, right? My theory about it is that he was doing DMT and his other dimension self, who was maybe 1 second off or like a little bit backwards, was doing DMT. And since they did it at the exact same time, they fucking switched.
That'd be terrifying, bro.
That would be, but see, the thing is, they have almost the exact same life. So he's actually from another dimension. He just like everything is off.
So like the changes are nothing of significance. Like it's just little things.
Yeah, but it's little things enough to drive him a little bit crazy, right? Like he's like, I'd get driven a little bit crazy from it because almost every story that he's told is like, dude, that's not how that went, man. Like it actually was like this way, like. You're watching a fight, like, oh, he punched him in the face. No, he punched him in the gut. What are you talking about? Like stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So that is my theory, and that's crazy.
That's crazy though. You'd hear that story, like that definitely swing the fucking the knob into like, oh, that's a possibility.
Right. So yeah, I do believe in that, but I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm really big on like aliens, and I feel like aliens are like us, but in the future.
I don't know why, dude. For me, aliens is like the least exciting thing to talk about. Not aliens per se, but UFOs.
Yeah.
I hate like, all paranormal videos or paranormal shows where they're like, you see that light in the sky? I don't give a fuck, dude. It could be anything.
Right. Well, I like it when it's like the footage that came out from
The Army?
Yeah, the Army or Air Force or whatever.
Yeah.
That to me was cool because they actually.
I've never seen that.
Really?
Where it's like they're front of their craft and they're like looking at some light.
Yeah, it's moving and it's like it's clearly like a craft and it's like turning around and it's like, I mean, here's the thing: people are like, nothing can ever do that. It's like, you don't know what the government has. Like they could have some shit that does like some Iron Man technology shit and you don't even know. So do I know if it's an alien? I don't know, but it doesn't. I'm kind of like with you. It doesn't really shock me as much because like I always feel like, I mean, to me, I'm like, there has to be life out there. So if I see something, it's not gonna like surprise me crazy, but I don't know, maybe it will.
No, man. But back to the subject of this. Are you familiar with doppelgangers?
Yes. Yeah.
So I think I might believe in doppelgangers because I had this job one time where I had to be out in grocery stores, and I worked for this vending company, so I'm always putting shit on the grocery shelves. And there was this one time when I was doing that, there's tons of people always walking around you. And this one time in particular, bro, I remember out of nowhere I started to hear like this ringing sound, right? And then my head started to hurt. And I kind of stepped back in the middle of the aisle.
Oh, shit.
And shit's getting kind of blurry. And I'm kind of like, what the fuck is this? And I kind of take a couple steps out of the aisle to get to where, like, you can see all the end caps and stuff. And out of my peripherals, bro, I could see somebody like walking. There's two people walking, but one guy in particular I'm like focused on really fucking hard. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And I don't know why, but just in my head, like somehow I knew, like I told myself, like, this guy's a similar height to me. This guy's a similar shape to me. This guy's hair is similar to mine. He's wearing something similar to what I would wear. And
Facial
I'm like,
structure kind of similar to you.
But it's blurry, so I can't make it out. I can just see like the silhouette of this dude like walking away. But the further away he gets from me, the clearer my vision gets.
Was it, so you were like, so basically you shit just started ringing and you were kind of getting dizzy. And
yeah, and I'm like I can't confirm like, oh, this dude looked just like me. But, for some reason, bro, like I felt like, is this a doppelganger, bro?
maybe it's like if real doppelgangers get too close, like there's a frequency
And it just gets all like
it's
fucked
like
up,
no,
right?
you guys can't see each other. The fucking universe will explode or something.
Up another possible explanation is I watched too many fucking movies and I just got a headache when this dude walked by. But for some reason, I don't know why. It's just weird that to look at that guy and in my brain go, is that my doppelganger?
Right.
So, I mean, that's just to connect to this, fucking clones and shit.
Right.
Nah, but like I said, this one was confusing. I didn't like the story. I didn't feel like it was explained very well.
I don't remember it. I wish I could.
I'll go 1 out of 6 for this one.
I'll go 1 out of 6 because I don't remember it. I wish
if it's not memorable, it's not good.
Maybe that's why. Because I watched the whole thing. Like if I had to go take a piss or shit, I fucking paused it. Or if I went outside, whatever, I paused it. So
this one just blanked out.
I guess it just blanked out. But I can't promise, but I'm pretty sure I can promise that I will remember the rest. So.
Nah, you're good, dude. Like I said, as I was explaining that one to you, I got lost in the fucking sauce.
Yeah.
So the next one, though, this one I really enjoyed. D is for Dogfight by Marcel Sarmiento.
Yeah, I like this one too.
Like this one was like a music video, right?
Yeah.
There's no dialogue whatsoever. This is the definition of show, don't tell.
This was really cool. I loved this one.
Because this one starts off with some guy who looks fucked up. He looks like Rocky at the end of the Rocky movies.
Dude, no, you know what he looked like to me? He looked like the guy who fights Rocky, the Russian dude.
Look like Ivan Drago?
Yeah, to me he looked like Drago. I don't know why.
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah.
Like some tough Irish-looking dude. He's white, so you assume Irish.
Yeah. I thought they were German, but I guess maybe they're Irish because, like, you think of, like, Irish fighting, like
Irish
underground fighting. Yeah, for sure.
And this dude, he has a dog tag on his neck. So I think when you see it, you're supposed to think like, oh, he's in the military or some shit. And it says like buddy on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you see he gets like sent out to some circle. It looks like Fight Club, the basement scene of Fight Club, because there's a circle of shady ass looking people.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy standing across from him, some big Mexican dude. You're like, oh, he's about to fight this big Mexican dude. But then plot twist, the big Mexican dude's holding a fucking leash with a big ass, I don't know dogs that well. Is it a Labrador?
I don't know what kind of dog it was either, no.
Some big fucking lab looking dog.
And white people are supposed to know dogs like the back of their hands. So.
I'm not gonna lie, that's what I was like implying, bro. But fucking, so this dude's holding this big ass dog, and it's really apparent because the dog and the guy make eye contact, and it's like, this guy's about to fucking fist fight a dog. And
he does.
And he does, dude. Like the dog, he just starts fucking going ham on this dog. He does it hesitantly though, right? Because you could tell he has like a moment of like pause before he just sticks his dog in the fucking face.
Yeah. Well, okay. This was cool because I really like this one. I'm gonna rate this one really good because I thought it was, for one, we'll talk about the ending or whatever, but like the way they were fighting.
I don't know how they did it.
I don't know how they did it either. I was so curious. Not only that, but it's like if we could actually fight a dog realistically, that's how it would look like. You know what I mean? Like he bites him, he bites him back. They're punching each other, and then like like when someone swings and misses, and then his dog jumped up and he went like that, like he just threw a right hook at him. Like that was cool. That was brilliant, man.
Right, and like the dog jumping up, taking snaps at him, missing in slow mo, and it falls back down. Fucking, and also in the background of this, there's a baby there. Like
I noticed that there was like a kid,
diaper dirty.
Watching it.
It's like some Mexican cockfighting shit. Like this is how I picture this shit really going down. But so this guy's fighting this dog, and at the end of it, the dog gets the better of him, right? Mm-hmm. So the dog like gets on top of him, and once again, I don't know how they film this, bro, but this dog looks like a fucking lion in this dude's face, and it's slow mo of him just like pushing the dog's face away while it's trying to bite him, ferocious as fuck. Once again, I don't know how you film that, but anyway, so the dog eventually gets the best of him, and it puts its like jaws around this dude's fucking throat, and right before it clamps down, the guy says, "Buddy," right? And that's when the plot twist happens. If you notice at the beginning of the short, there's a lost dog sign behind the fucking fighter. So he's looking for his dog.
Right.
So the plot twist is this fucking dog is his.
Yeah.
The dog tags on his fucking chest belongs to this fucking dog. It's the dog collar. And they both get up from the fucking ground and they just mug the shit out of everybody in this circle, and they kill everybody, right?
Yeah, I guess because they like the big Mexican dude was crawling out, right, and his
That's
face
the last
was like,
scene is like the Mexican dude crawling from the fucking thing.
yeah, he's all bloody and shit. I was like, dude, I thought that twist was super cool because it was like, not only because I love my dogs, man, I love my dog, so like that was like it was crazy how like, and even if you don't love dogs, like it like felt like an emotional type thing. Like this is like my best friend or whatever. We're having to fight each other, and then it's like that moment of clarity, like, all right, now we're about to fuck everybody up.
I'm not at all a dog person, bro, and I was hype as fuck for this.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like they filmed this great, man.
Like even before the twist, like just watching the guy fight the dog is one of the coolest fucking things I've seen.
Right. Yeah.
So if you were gonna rate this, I'm going 5.
5. I really like this one. I'm gonna have to give it a 6 because this was probably actually my favorite one. I think.
You know what? I think I might have to go up with you because I'm thinking in my head what flaws could I think of to not give it a 6? I can't think of any.
Yeah, that's exactly like that's perfectly
it's flawless
said.
because there's music. The music is cool. The soundtrack is cool. The fucking cuts, the story it's telling, the actual fighting and shit. Like it's all. Yeah, I gotta go 6, dude. Like just thinking, I'm in my head. I'm like, why can't I give it a 6? I'm like, I can't think of a reason.
I guess you could say it's not like exactly like scary. I guess depending on who you are, but
then you want to say there's not enough, but it's a short.
Yeah, it's a short. So and that's another thing, man. They explained a lot, and by showing, not telling, in what 5-6 minutes, right?
At the most 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Bro.
So like. And the intensity of it and the build, like there's a build up for 4 or 5 minutes, right? There's a build up to the whole thing, and you almost feel it because you don't know what's going on, but you feel like there's a twist. You know, you feel that twist coming, and then it comes, and you're like, because I remember my buddy, I was like kind of confused with my buddy. He's like, oh, it's his fucking dog. I was like, oh shit, like that was really perfect, man. That was a cool scene.
Marcel Sarmiento, sir, well done.
Definitely.
Well done. All right, so this next one. E is for Exterminate by Angela Bettis. Now, fun fact about Angela Bettis, she might be the most well-known director in this bunch.
What has she done?
She has done an old movie called Girl Interrupted.
I haven't seen it.
She did May.
May or Ma?
It's called May, where the chick like cuts people's body parts up and shit.
I don't think I've seen that.
That one's fire. And then she also did, she was in Sinister.
Oh, okay. Who is she in Sinister?
Fran.
I
don't know. I think it says deleted scene.
Oh, shit. Well, that sucks. Send the deleted scenes.
No, but she also did this movie called The Woman. I'm not sure if you've seen The Woman.
I don't think I've seen her stuff, man.
Bro, The Woman is fucking insane. I recommend that like a
I'm going to have to watch it then.
But no, so anyways, I'm fucking tooting the shit out of this woman's horn, and I hated her short. E is for Exterminate is the one with the spider.
I didn't like this one either. I didn't really like it. You liked it or you didn't? I didn't. I was confused about it.
So let me just break this down in about 5 sentences. So there's a spider in this dude's house. He tries to kill it, fails. Spider bites him. Watches him for a couple of days. This dude's beating off all kinds of random shit.
Yeah. It's more funny, I guess.
He finally kills the spider. And immediately after he kills it, fucking some baby spiders pop out from his boil.
Yeah.
They cover his body. The end.
Yeah. I think if you're going to do something about spider, like have it, whatever it's called, spider phobia, this was not the right way to do it. Because, like, what was it? Wasn't it, like, someone watching them?
Or was it the spider's POV? Like, it had, like, the 6 little eyes, and it was watching them in the corner. I weirdly had I just realized, I don't know, when I was watching it, I felt like it was, like, a government thing. Like, it's a robotic spider. It wasn't a real... You know what I mean? I don't know why I thought that, but I thought, like, maybe it's the government watching them through a bug. That's what I thought. For some weird reason, which obviously was not correct. I think I was just fucking, That was that conspiracy brain going a little too hard.
Yeah, it was. I was thinking too hard about it.
No, I think, like you said, that would have been more interesting than what happened. I feel like this is a really cliched story, a really played out story that we've all seen in all kinds of different fucking forms. Like, you've seen that Real Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Yes, I've seen it. Yeah.
The movie and the books, one of them in that is the one with the spider bite. The spider, it's a boil, and then little baby spiders pop out of the bitch.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've seen this a ton of fucking times.
Right. It's cliche for sure.
And I think another thing that hurts it is I'm not afraid of spiders.
I not afraid of spiders. I hate spiders. Like I don't want a fucking spider on me, you know. Like they're creepy, but I don't know. Like things with bugs, like you could definitely get more wild. Like you can definitely get a little more gross with it. You know, you could do. I don't know. I would like to think because I'm not. I guess this is might be just a hard one to be creative with because like people are scared of spiders, but dude, I feel like even if I was scared of spiders, I wouldn't have been scared of this short. You know what I mean?
Well, even that, like, it's not like they were handcuffed to spiders. They were handcuffed to the letter E, and they went with exterminate. I'm not sure. Okay, I can see how exterminate because he killed the spider, so he exterminated the spider. But even then, like, you know, you could. There's other letters you could have done. There's more creative things you could have done with the letter E.
Yeah, extraterrestrial aliens.
Egg.
Egg, yeah,
Egg
an
would've been
egg, and
fun,
then you
bro.
bite into it, a bunch of spiders pop out of the fucking egg.
Anything, dude.
Yeah,
Fucking people come out of eggs. I don't know.
yeah. Oh, that would actually be kind of cool. Like, there's people they're hatching, they're fucking harvesting and hatching fucking eggs of people or clones. That'd
And, like,
be cool.
some dude has to shit out eggs.
Yeah, that would suck.
Like,
That would
that's how
hurt.
babies are born.
Yeah, that would be cool. But like exterminate, like dude, I'm trying to think of like how many different ways they could have done it. I don't know. I think because like if you would have, especially exterminate, right? Like your house is getting invaded by fucking bugs, like that could have been a whole thing. Like rats are everywhere. It
Yeah,
couldn't
they
have just
could have
been
done.
spiders.
They could have done it like an actual story of an exterminator. Like if you think of the shit the exterminators walk into, bro, the elements are there.
It's pretty gross, yeah. And like I said, real shit scares me. Like my dad's a maintenance man, so he'll tell me about like going to an apartment that's just like disgusting and like leaving shit. He's like, dude, and I like get grossed out just by him telling me. Like I said, real shit scares me. So like if they would have done something like that, you know, like real gross shit, like just showing how people live, terrible.
I just feel like they could have put forth more effort.
Yeah, there was zero effort, and even the effects and everything were lazy.
So for this one, I'm gonna go 1 out of 6.
I'm with you on that. 1 out of 6.
So next up, we have an interesting one. Probably the most interesting one. Not most interesting, but just the fucking weirdest. F is for fart.
Yeah.
So the way I saw this movie, bro, a couple of times before like I actually looked it up is I'd be like scanning Sci-Fi or the Chiller channel, and I'd see ABCs of Death, and I swear to God, dude, 3 different times I've put this movie on, and this is the fucking segment I turned it on to.
It's like you were meant to watch it.
No, it was the opposite. Like I'd see it, bro, and I'd be like, "Oh, this is dumb as fuck. I'm good."
Yeah.
And
God.
so this one starts off with a schoolgirl standing out in the middle of the yard. You're like, all right, this is kind of cute. And out of nowhere, she rips ass, and her fucking skirt like lifts when she farts. And immediately after that, a teacher walks by. She's got some like fucking schoolgirl crush on this female teacher, right? And for some reason, like she goes into this monologue about how like I don't believe in God, I believe in farts or something.
Yeah.
And then completely out of the fucking blue, this is a Japanese short. Completely out of the fucking blue, some black gas starts coming out of the ground, and it starts fucking like melting people, I guess.
Yeah.
So the schoolgirl and this teacher run into a gym or an indoor pool. I don't know where the fuck
I don't
they
know
were
where it
at.
was. It was like some like almost like a porno.
Some type of fucking like industrial porn set.
Yeah, definitely.
So they both get into like this wherever the hell they're at, and the schoolgirl finally professes her fucking obsession to the teacher. Like, this is word for word the dialogue. I don't want to be killed by the black gas. I want to be killed by your gas, Mrs. Yumi.
Yeah.
And immediately she knows what to do. She turns around, pulls down her skirt, and just fucking rips ass right into this chick's face. And she's like kneeled like right under her butt cheeks, bro.
Right.
And what happens is this like thick green gas comes out of this chick's butt, and it sucks fucking the schoolgirl into the teacher's ass.
Yeah, that was the best part. That was the best part. That was like, I actually kind of liked this one because it was
different, dude.
It was different.
Weird.
It was weird and it was funny, but it was like, I don't know, because you know what? I'm just saying, there's definitely people into some fart porn out there. You know what I mean? So like them commenting on this, I mean, it's just kind of, it's hilarious, you know?
I know, like, and also, I mean, there's some cool stuff that happens, like, because throughout this little part where she's like worshiping this chick's fart, there's a scene of like outside where some random Japanese chick is like running through like a blacktop with her head on fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because it farted.
Weird.
I thought
bro.
because it farted or the black gas like went in her face and because that girl got sucked in her ass. So then what happened to that girl? Was that just the black gas that came out of the ground?
That was just showing like what was happening to people who got touched by the gas.
Some of
them turn into zombies. Some of them turn all black and look burnt.
Yeah. At first, because at first I thought that was her for a second. Like she farted so hard her fucking face went on fire. But no,
that was
because
a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Because so after the chick gets, sucked into Miss Yumi's ass, she's in some like egg state, like in a fetal position, like floating inside of Miss Yumi's.
Yeah, she says something, right?
Butt or some shit.
Yeah, didn't she say like I'm complete or something like weird like that?
It's some like Messiah type deal. Like this is like your butthole's God. And for some reason, the last shot is Miss Yumi and this schoolgirl like making out inside of her butthole. I'm guessing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, what was even funnier to me was like when she was shitting in her fucking face, like the chick who was shitting was like, oh, like it felt good to her. Like, I don't know, she's not touching her. Like, I guess I can't, if I was perhaps into this, I would be okay with the fart in my mouth because that's what I'm into. But she is like getting off by farting in her mouth like it's turning her on. So it was almost like an energy connection. It was weird.
You said it, like there is like a genre of porn that's like chicks fucking just ripping ass,
ripping ass, man. But like the chick who was shitting was getting off from shitting in this chick's face. So it was like, I don't know. It was like, what is it? Some energy warp that they fucking just like it turns her on too, man.
I mean, shout out to the Japanese, bro. Like they're the ones who have like tentacle porn. They have
they're horny, man. They're horny, dude.
Ah, bro, they're on that island, and it's just a fucking free-for-all, bro.
That's what it is, man. It's because we bombed them, man. That's exactly why.
It's a fucking metaphor for the nukes. That's what this was.
They're like, hey, motherfucker, you made us this way. This nuke made us horny.
This was like the first short where I think like the average horror fan might check out. Like you've got to be a little open-minded to like appreciate ones like this.
Yeah, 100%. It was because it wasn't like if you obviously it wasn't the best one, but like it's watchable. Like you watch it, you're gonna watch the whole thing because it's funny and it's weird and it's different.
You have to have a sense of humor and be open to like because like I said, like this is something that I feel like about 75% of people are gonna like, nah, this isn't it.
Yeah. Well, and also, like, farts are always just fucking funny. Like, everyone just laughs at farts. Mm-hmm. So, it's like, and they're gross, and they're, like, taboo or whatever. So, it's kind of like, I don't know. And I was really thinking, I was like, dude, if I go to Japan, are they, like, just fucking laughing at farts? Like, do they just think that's, like, the most hilarious thing ever? Like, I don't know. I was, like, wondering that, you know? I don't know. Because I can never imagine a Japanese person just laughing at a fucking fart for some reason. I feel like they'd be pissed at me if I farted in their house.
You never seen like those random like Japanese game shows, bro? They had some weird shit.
I have seen some of those. Yeah, they are different.
I remember when I was younger, dude. They used to show them on like late night Cinemax HBO, and one of them I saw was like they would douse a bar of soap in like hot sauce and like sit on it and have to carry it a certain amount of feet. Like, just weird shit,
yeah,
bro.
It's really weird. I wonder if it's just their sense of humor is really different than ours, you know what I mean? Because, like, dude, okay, so my great-grandma was British, and my grandma was British. And she's from here, so I guess her sense of humor. But like, being that I have British cousins and stuff like that, their sense of humor is totally different than ours. Like, they like that physical, haha, everyone dies, like sense of humor. You know what I mean? And I appreciate like Shaun of the Dead and stuff like that. But a lot of like British comedians, I'm not too fans of. Probably for the lingo that I don't understand, and also for like, I just don't really find but like that's like, I wonder if the Japanese, like, obviously, like their sense of humor. Well, the point I'm getting at is like, I think their sense of humor is like, it's just a really different from like everyone else. Like, I don't even know if I call it physical humor or whatever, but it's like, I don't know, it's something like they think I don't know, like the grossest shit is funny or whatever. Maybe, I don't know, because they got some of the grossest like horror films as well.
Yeah. I mean, you got to think about it too, bro. How much older their fucking cultures are than ours.
That is true, right?
Like, they've been around for a long time to figure out like what they're into.
Right. They know themselves better than us.
Like, cause them in China, bro, like they've been fucking around. I can't even think of the numbers. Just a lot longer than we have.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
But no, so F is for fart. I think it was bold of them to do this because they could have, they didn't have to be this silly. They went full fucking. They just went for it.
Yeah, full left field.
And I respect it.
I did. Yeah, I did respect it a lot for sure.
That doesn't mean that I loved it. No. But this one for me gets a 3.
3. I think that's fair. I'll probably go with 3. I was gonna say 4 because I appreciate the silliness, but I'm gonna have to join you with 3 because it's not like it was very watchable. I loved it. It was funny, but it's like in terms of like
is it good?
Yeah, is it good? No, it's not like it's very, like you said, respectable. It's very respectable.
It's respectable, and I appreciate what they did, and they committed, and that's all I get. That's what they get from me.
Right.
And that was by Noboru Iguchi. Gotta love the Japanese names.
Yeah.
No. The next one's very short, very simple. G is for Gravity by Andrew Trauke.
Oh, yeah.
So this one, once again, this is one of those 5-sentence shorts. There's a guy. He goes surfing. He has a GoPro. He takes his surfboard and he takes a bag and fills it with bricks. Paddles into the ocean. Falls off the surfboard. And then the last shot is just the camera pointing at his surfboard.
Mm-hmm. So he drowns.
Yeah. And at first, my first impression was like, oh, dude, this was so fucking lazy.
Mm-hmm.
But second impression, right? I remember the scene where he's paddling out. Like we were talking about atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Because we see him put the bricks into this bag, right? You know that he's probably going to kill himself. So seeing him like paddling out, like it's actually probably the longest shot is like a good minute of him just paddling deeper and deeper into the ocean. You're like, and you hear his breaths really clear and shit. So for me, I felt that anxiety with the guy as he's paddling out. So for me, that did elevate it slightly. Like, mm-hmm. Still though, I think it's a pretty lazy short in my opinion, but I give it a little bit more credit.
Yeah, man, dude, I agree. I hope you don't think I'm agreeing with you, just agree with you, because I agree with you on a lot of this stuff, dude. Because I agree. It felt short, lazy. It was like, oh, like it was one of those like, oh, he drowned. Like, it's like a scary way to go out.
And you were like, that's it?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was like. What the fuck? Is there anything else to it? But what I got from it was like, okay, it's almost like the faces of death. Like, oh, that's a way to die. And I guess the bricks is like, so I don't know if it was like, I guess it was like suicide, right, or mm-hmm. whatever. By drowning yourself, which is scary. But like you say, like I appreciated the whole GoPro thing. Like if you want to talk about like the way it looked, it was real beautiful scenery and stuff like that. It was cool being underwater, and I don't know, like it's more of a, I don't know how to describe it. It's more of like you said, like you hear the breath. Like I appreciate like if you ever seen The Revenant, if you watch The Revenant, I appreciate the pictures of the film more than the actual film.
So you like the cinematography?
Yeah, the cinematography of it. Yeah, for sure. So, but like you said, the anxiety of it is like, dude, I would never want to drown. Like that's the last way I want to go out.
That's what I thought of when I saw this. So would you rather drown or fall off a building?
Oh, fall off a building because Oh, yeah, I'd probably fall off a building because like you hit the ground. I'm guessing like.
Lights
Well, it
go
depends how
out.
big of a building. Because if I hit the ground, I'm not dead yet. I'm gonna be pissed. I'm like, what the fuck? This hurts.
That's a
But
mistake a lot of motherfuckers make.
really?
That's what I heard on Rogan is that like 99% of them who like fall from a crazy ass height and who have survived, they say 100% of them have gone like, oh, while I was falling, I instantly regretted this decision. How terrifying is that, bro?
Because they lived and then they told the tale.
So yeah,
of, like,
so like the 1% that have lived, 100% of them are like, I thought I didn't want to do this.
God damn it.
Man.
Yeah. Maybe drowning might be a little bit better when you put it that way.
Nah, they're both asshole, dude.
They are.
I'd prefer to fall. I'd just make sure I went high enough.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you go on the Empire State Building or some shit like that, like it's okay, I'm definitely gonna die.
But then, like, think about, like, if it's such a high building, by the time you get to the top, you've probably talked yourself out of it.
Yeah, it's that's what is the more scarier part is like I'm gonna die, bam, okay, it's over. You know, it's definitely not a quick death, and so is drowning. But I guess when you think about drowning though, like you're gonna pass out before you die, right?
Well, drowning is about giving up.
Right.
Because that's not, you control when you're going for that. Like, you're holding your breath, and pretty much you have to, like, just start inhaling that fucking water. That's how you go.
God, that's horrible. Fuck that.
You got to give up to drown.
That hurts. You ever get water in your lungs or like, you know, swallow too much water? It
And I
fucking
take
hurts.
it like a bitch every time, bro.
Yeah, it's like, oh, fuck. Fuck, dude. You sound like fucking Seth Rogen. Dude, fuck that. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I think I'd rather fall than drown, but.
And mind you, we're not saying this is what we're going to do, but
No,
if we were going to be thrown off of something, sure.
Yeah.
Someone would have to push me, 100%.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I'm a good swimmer, so I think I'll be all right. Less, I don't know. I was in Mexico and like, dude, the wave caught me one time, and I was like, oh fuck, this is crazy. And there was a girl, like, there was like a little rope, you know, and her neck was getting caught on a rope, and I was like, fuck. So I swam over, and I'm getting pushed too. Like the current's taking me too, and like, we both were almost fucked. I grabbed her and pulled her up, and like the lucky thing was like it kind of dropped off, like it was like shallow to deep, so we got like right on the shallow part, and she looked at me really weird, like I was a pervert or something. And I was like, dude, I'm just trying to make sure you don't fucking die, I'm sorry. And I was like, hey, are you okay? And she didn't know English, so she's just like kind of freaked out that I even came over. I was like, well, your neck was on that, man, so I'm sorry. And then she just like walked off, and I was like, oh fuck, okay.
Try to be a hero, bro.
I
That's
tried
what
to,
happens.
yeah, I guess that's what happens, man. But if I didn't, she might have been fucking dead. So,
So what do you give G's for gravity?
I'd give it a 3. I'd probably give it a 3, honestly.
I go to. Like I said, if it wasn't for that one moment where I felt atmosphere, I'd have gave it a 1. I didn't really care for it. It's too short. Wasn't enough context.
Yeah. The only reason why I'd probably give it a 3 instead of a 2 is because it, like I said, it is a scary concept. So
It's a scary concept, and like you said, you like the cinematography.
yeah, cinematography was cool.
So the next one. This is another one that I feel like I saw a lot, like just casually, like channel surfing. H is for hydroelectric
yeah.
diffusion.
This one was
by
cool.
Thomas Malling. So, would you like to describe this one? Because I'm gonna fuck up describing it. So
It's so hard. Well, okay, so there's a dog. They're dog people, right? And it looks like, so I guess they're German.
they were supposed to be English, so from the UK.
Okay, yeah, they're supposed to be English
So
from
British.
British, okay, my people also. And it looks like, you know, they got like, you could think of like, if you watch like a World War II movie, they got like the aviator hat on, like the leather hat.
Like some Red Baron shit.
Yeah. And so it's a dog, and the dog's kind of doing the Jim Carrey from fucking Mask stuff, where he's like, ah! You know, and his eyes out. And I was like, oh, that's total rip off from Jim Carrey or whatever, which was kind of funny and cool.
Because he was at like a strip show, right?
Yeah, he's at a strip show, and like, you know, some hot female, I guess, was dressed as a dog.
She was a fox.
Yeah, she was a fox.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
It makes sense, fox, right? And you know, she's stripping in front of him, and he's man, I'm probably gonna fuck this up too. And then he's like, oh, what does she tell him to like come here or something like that?
So like you said, he's hamming it up and doing the Bugs Bunny fucking cartoon, eyes popping out of his fucking head,
tongue's popping out. Yeah,
and she like kind of motions for him to get closer. When she does, she has her hand over her arm. Or 'cause first she takes off her top, and this is like some furry porn shit.
yeah,
Because like she's like a woman in full costume, like fox costume, right?
yeah. It wasn't even like you couldn't even tell there was like skin there or anything. Yeah, it was like full costume.
But she takes off her top, and you see like fox boobs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know any other way to describe it.
Fox hybrid human boobs, I guess.
And but so the dog man gets closer. She has her hand over her arm, and when she moves her hand, it's a Nazi patch, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So we find out she's part of the enemy. It was the setup,
Right.
and what the fuck? Doesn't she have like she hits some switch behind her on a machine?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like bear traps on wheels
Bear traps
start coming
come out. I don't even know. No, he doesn't get, or he's like getting electrocuted, and then the pool, because there's so much into this. That's what I do appreciate. There's so much going on, right?
All types of real elaborate. I described him as like 007 Austin Powers like traps.
Yeah, that's
Like,
that's perfect.
Real convoluted, like
Right. Fire the lasers,
traps.
like the fucking pool opens up. Yeah, that's a perfect way to describe it. Then he's about to fall in the pool, right? And there's this moment of, and it was funny because I told my buddy, I was like, what if it switches because he's about to die? What if she ends up getting killed or whatever? Mm-hmm. And sure as shit, that's kind of that's what happens is like, but he's like, it's like a moment of like, you hear some like encouraging music in the background. So he just fucking puts his feet in the bear traps.
And he fucking uses them like rollerblades.
Yeah. Yeah. And then what does he do? Does he throw her ass in the, I can't remember.
I think he goes up to her and sticks her ass and she like bounces into the machine, right? Mm-hmm. Like you said, a lot fucking happens.
Yeah, so much is into it.
Somehow she ends up in this pool of like spikes that are electric, right?
And he's kind of like this, right?
So she gets like melted in this fucking pool, and he does like that fucking like hands on the hip Superman pose.
Yeah.
And it's this real, it's a real hammy moment. Now you said you enjoyed this one. I don't know why. I never care for it.
Well, I actually enjoyed it because I thought it was. Oh wait, no, there's one thing we forgot. Where you forgot she like went down and hit his balls, and his balls went through him and came out of his throat. And then it's just dog ball testicles just like swarming around. And did they wrap around him?
Yeah, they twist around each other.
Yeah, they twisted, which is like a fear of mine. I don't want my balls to ever be like twisted like that. That'd be horrible.
This was crazy, like creative. Like it was very creative and thought out. I'll give him that.
Yeah, it was super silly though, but yeah, it was like really ridiculous, I guess you want to say. But yeah, you're right. It was very creative. That's why I appreciated it because there was so much going on.
It was really cartoony, really just out there. They also went for it. Is a good way to say it.
They definitely went for it because, like you said, it was almost like watching a Mask, right? Like it was almost like watching Mask, but like way more over the top, like with way too much into it.
Yeah.
Was this so who directed this? Was it a British dude or a German dude or what?
Thomas Malling, and he's actually an author, and this is his only credit. So like I said, you'd think he'd done more. Like some of this stuff is so out there, you're like, oh, this guy has to have some like crazy ass fucking, I gotta see his other stuff, but nah. This is one of this dude's only credits.
Yeah. I don't know. Storyline, well, what would you give it? I think I'm gonna go ahead. And even though I did really like it, and I did like a whole bunch was in it, but since it was so silly in the storyline, I'll still give it like a 3, maybe a 4 because of how much was going on. But I give it a 3.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick to what I said. I don't generally care for it, just because I'm a hater. I'm going for the 2. But it was well done. I want to give it a 3, but I'll give it a 2 just because I don't care for it.
Yeah.
Makes sense. It just, some stuff just doesn't work for people, and it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely, like, say if it was a play, like, if I watched a play of it, like, oh, this is fucking awesome, bro. But this is ABCs of Death, son.
Right. You gotta, you're right. You
gotta be on brand a little bit.
Yeah, they were a little bit off. Like, you gotta definitely, like, hit the mark with, like, actually being like silly, but also like you're still
like, where was the horror in it? Like,
yeah, exactly. That's another thing I noticed. I was like, this isn't like a horror. Like this feels like more like a just like a silly cartoonish, because like when I watch cartoons, you don't think of like horror stuff, you know what I mean? Unless you're watching like a horror cartoon. But yeah, it was more cartoonish and shit. I just didn't. Yeah, there's no horror feeling in it, so that takes a lot away from it. It's almost more like a comedy, really, more like a comedy,
like a thriller comedy, I guess.
Yeah, it was also kind of like, do you know? I don't know why I think of this. Not Quentin Tarantino, but what's the dude who made Machete? Anthony, or is it something Rodriguez? Something Rodriguez. You see Machete, right?
Yeah.
And what's the one? Quentin Tarantino's in it, and with
You're talking about the guy who made
George
like
Clooney.
Spy Kids and shit, right?
Did he make Spy Kids as
He's
well?
the same guy. That's why Machete's in Spy Kids.
Yeah, Machete's and Spy Kids. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I get a little bit of that feeling in there. Not like because he's way better, but like the
Robert Rodriguez, right?
The
Robert Rodriguez.
Robert Rodriguez. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought it was. Robert Rodriguez. So I get a little bit of that texture in there, that like the sync. Because like if you watch From Dusk Till Dawn, have you seen that? When they're in the strip club. And I guess it's both in a strip club, but I get a little bit of that, like, because like it's almost like his movies have like a warm feeling, like a sweaty, warm feeling when you watch it. You know what I mean? Like either they're in the desert or Spy Kids. I think they're in the desert a little bit, or in a tropical environment. That it's like you're in a like hot ass strip club, like in the and you know they use textile colors, like the colors in it were a little more warm.
Yeah.
So I got that feeling for some weird reason. I don't know why. And he's also really silly too. Like he does some silly shit. He's like a sillier Quentin Tarantino.
That's a fair way to describe it.
He's definitely because they work together a lot.
Him, Eli Roth, and Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah. So definitely. What has Eli Roth done?
Fucking Hostel, Green Inferno.
Oh, okay, Green Inferno. That's a good
Cabin Fever, bro. Eli Roth did some bangers.
Yeah, those are some bangers.
But no, sorry. So for hydroelectric diffusion, you went 3, I go 2.
Okay.
So next up, we get I is for Ingrown by Jorge Michael Grau.
Which one was this?
Exactly. This is the one. This is the one where it's like some chick in a bathtub, and there's a guy with a syringe. He injects her.
Oh, yeah.
And then she does like a monologue for 3 minutes as she's like, I thought she was ODing, but it looked more like an allergic reaction because she's like scratching at her throat like if she can't breathe. And
and then he ends up in the basement, right?
Chest.
Or is that a different one?
That's a different one.
Oh, that's a different one. Okay, yeah. She was scratching and shit. I remember this one.
And it ends with her like vomiting over the fucking tub, so she dies. And that was 3 sentences, so that's like even shorter.
Yeah, that one was really shitty. I give it a 1.
Yes, because that's the book definition of what we've been talking about. Show me, don't tell me. Like she's literally she fucking monologues in Spanish for like 5 minutes, and it's about nothing.
Yeah, I don't even remember what she was talking about. I remember watching and being like, what the fuck is she rambling on about?
Because like, look, so I was thinking about this because there's some shorts in this that are very pretentious and really artsy. That may be stuff people like me and you just aren't getting.
Right.
So maybe there is some deeper fucking thing to it. There's one in particular even more obnoxious than this times 20. But this one in particular, I feel like that was similar to that because she's monologuing and, you know, maybe there's something in what she's saying that's deeper. I just didn't care.
Yeah, I didn't care. I don't have a lot to say about this one because it was just really, like you said, it was 3 sentences. Short, quick, not much to it. Like, what the fuck did he inject her with? Like, fucking some bad meth or some shit? Like, I don't know, you know?
Like I said, because she clawed her throat, it looked more like an allergic reaction. So maybe she's allergic to some type of medicine or some type of food, and that's what he fucking shot her up with.
Well, yeah, and you can go on, like, you know, when you want to criticize stuff like this, it's like we were doing with the spider one that we thought was terrible. Like, you know, you could do so much more with an allergic reaction. In Hereditary, they did a lot with an allergic reaction. That shit was wild. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you can't. That is cheap, man.
And also, how do you get I is for ingrown from that? What about that is ingrown?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Some of these, man, me and my buddy were talking about this. We're like, what? Like, maybe it's just because
you try to guess it. Because the way ABCs of Death does it is they show you the short, and after the short's over, then they tell you what the letter and the word was. So you can guess some of them, right?
Yeah, you can guess some of them, but like D is for dog and stuff like that. But like, okay, ingrown, like what the fuck is it like? I don't get that at all. Like, cause
I don't get it. That's another reason why it's not a good short.
we were talking about it, because I know if it's from different, if it's other like from other countries, like maybe they just they say something differently, or
So
you
the
know what I mean?
translation of it's different.
Yeah, some translation of it's different, or I don't know. Like I said, like I have no clue. Like we were like, maybe it's just from different countries, we don't understand it. So maybe if we were from wherever country that well, I guess that was that Spanish.
Some Spanish country. I don't know.
So
if
maybe it was like Spain or something. I don't know.
Who knows? But eyes for ingrown gets a 1 for me. You also said a 1.
Definitely a 1. I didn't think much of it.
No. All right, so this next one, dude, it's fun as fuck. J is for Jedi Gekkai, samurai movie.
Oh, which one?
This is the one where it's the guy who's getting executed, and they're both dressed up like white headbands, and they're wearing white like karate robes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And the one dude's holding a sword over his head, about to execute the other dude, but the other guy just starts making the wiliest fucking faces.
Yeah.
Like, you've seen memes of them on Facebook.
Right.
And, like, you never know where the fuck those come from. Well, now you do.
Right.
This sounds short as fuck, but, I mean, that's literally what it is. The guy's just making some fucking crazy ass.
Right.
Like, I can't even... Doesn't he, like, his eyeballs pop out? He sucks his cheeks in.
Right.
One shot, his head is, like, giant as fuck.
Yeah. I know. I like, you always see these, like, especially in like those fighting movies. They go like over the top shit. So yeah, I didn't really think too much of this one either. If I'm
No, I just thought it was funny because remember,
Yeah.
like, he's like sweating and shit like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, I think it's all about the executioner just like seeing shit before he has to murk this dude.
Right. How does he chomps his head off, doesn't he?
But before that, the guy stabs himself.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah,
once the guy stabbed himself, that's when he finally cuts his head off.
Cuts
And
his
after
head
he
off.
cuts his head off, then he starts to laugh.
Right. Yeah. Well, I also was like, I know, like in in Japan, don't they do that where they kill themselves with fucking swords, like samurais do
Yeah,
that
that's
shit.
that thing like
On or Wolverine. Like
if you fail a mission, your entire little squad has to murk themselves or something.
Okay, is that it? Okay, yeah. So I thought that was cool. Like you said, the faces that they make, like you see that in like samurai movies or like old movies and stuff like that. That was cool. But the whole chomping, I liked that because it was like that ritual thing. I was like, oh, okay, this is a little play on that. I liked the cutting the head off. I thought was cheesy, so that's why I didn't kind of like it. I thought, I don't know, but I guess that was kind of the point of it. But like, it got me thinking, like when you get your head cut off, they always say like you could hear or speak, or not speak, but like see. You know what I mean? So I'm always like, dude, what if I got my head cut off and I like see my body just flaring around? Like if I did a little, and just see
That'd be
your
kinda
body.
cool.
They say you see it for like a second or something. And then they also say that if you cut someone's head off, lift up their head and say their name, their mouth will move because their nerves are responding to being, because like if I said, he said Luke, I'd be like, oh, you know what I mean? I'm going to turn around and react to it.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
dude.
I don't know how true that is. And maybe, I mean, there's a lot of beheadings out there, like, so, I mean, let's just be real. There's been beheadings for years, so I'm sure they've tried it enough to where we know for a fact.
Shout out to your people.
Shout out to my people, and like I guess they do it in the Middle East too, and then my people when they
built a machine
the
specifically for that
machines for it where they put the fucking what's it called,
the guillotine. Fam.
Guillotine, yeah. Shout out to my people, the British. I guess no, it was American.
That was the French, bro.
Was it the French?
The French.
Okay,
friend.
you're right. Yeah, because what's his nuts did it? Napoleon. He was French, right?
Yeah, it was like Queen Elizabeth around that time, but nah, dude. So this though, for me, I think it was just the humor just fit what I like. Kind of like maybe like if it didn't work for you, kind of like how the dog one didn't, the hydroelectric, whatever the fuck. Like maybe that one missed for me, but this one hit for me.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I would probably go. I go 4.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go low. I'm gonna go 2 because I respected it, but I don't know. It just didn't hit for me for some reason. I guess I don't know why.
I fucking my childish fucking humor, bro. I just loved it.
Yeah. Right.
Maybe because like I've seen a lot of those like old school like karate movies and shit when I was younger.
Right.
So maybe it just rubs something right for
Like
me.
Enter the Dragon and shit like that.
Mhm.
Those are awesome, man. I love those. That's actually, I think that's on. Actually, I think it's on HBO Max too, and it's on
Bro,
Tubi.
me and my dad share a Netflix account, and that's all that's fucking on there. That's all my dad watches.
Really?
is,
That's so
foreign
dope.
fucking old karate movies.
Yeah, I love them because they say something, they mouth over in English, and they're still like talking.
Dub's fucking off by like a minute.
Yeah, they're talking
yeah.
like a whole minute because the words are so much longer than ours. It's hilarious.
So next up, we got K is for Klutz by Anders Morgenthaler. This one was funny as shit to me. It's animated, completely animation. It's the first one that's all animation, right? It's a cartoon. So in this one, it's a blonde chick in some type of party dress. She goes to a restroom, a single restroom. She takes a deuce, flushes, and the poo won't go away.
Yeah, and it's all squeaky.
And it squeaks at her
Yeah.
like a dog toy.
Yeah.
So she can't get the motherfucker to flush, so she gets a big ass wad of toilet paper, right? Throws the toilet paper in that bitch. Flushes. She thinks it's gone. Here's the squeaks again. So then it overflows after that point, doesn't it? And then it like falls on the ground.
It overflows and it falls, and then she keeps trying to like get it, and it won't come off her shoe at one point, right? And then I think she gets a big wad of toilet paper or whatever. I think the big wad of toilet paper is the beginning, and
because she uses the heel of her shoe to pick up the shit.
Yeah, and then
puts it back in.
So gross.
And that's when pretty much we find out that it has a life of its own because it's actually coming towards her and it's squeaking as it's hopping towards her.
Right.
And for some reason, she gets this idea to like get on the ground and start blowing on it to like push it back into the toilet.
Yeah, which I was like, ew, why don't you blow on some
She's
shit?
just blowing a piece of shit across the restroom floor, up the toilet. And before it goes in, it like kind of falls forward towards her. So she's like, oh, this is it's a live piece of poo.
Right.
So her fucking rocket scientist idea is to take her bra off.
Slingshot that bitch in there.
Fucking picks up the turd with her bra, attaches her bra to the back of the toilet, and like you said, she slingshots that motherfucker.
I did not see that coming.
No.
She slingshotted it. I thought she was just gonna like, I don't know, like make sure it stayed in there or something.
So she does that, right? And then she's looking in the toilet. She doesn't see it in there, correct?
Right.
So she starts looking under. She's like, maybe I missed. And while she's looking under, the camera pans above her, and you see the fucking turds on the ceiling like a fucking spider. And it's like staring at her like face down, ass up, and her fucking underwear has come down under her butt cheeks. And the shit just fucking like torpedo launches straight into her ass. It like Olympic fucking perfect dives right in there. Apparently it goes through her entire body and comes out her mouth.
Yeah.
And the whole time this is happening, she's hearing knocks on the door because somebody else, you got to use the restroom.
Right.
So, of course, at this moment when the turd comes out of her mouth and blood's coming out with it, so we assume that's a kill shot. Some other partygoers open the door and find her body like that.
And well, they see her ass, they start whistling at her, right?
They're laughing and shit. And
they see the blood, then they're like, oh.
And that's how that short ends. What did you think?
I thought it was just funny. Like, I thought it was just like, that's crazy. And the animation was pretty creative. Like, I can't really dog this one as much as I've dogged the other ones. Like, obviously, it wasn't my favorite, and it wasn't like spooky, but it was like a funny, like it's almost like 1,000 Ways to Die, but like unrealistic. Like it's like, I died by shitting, literally. So
like, yeah, like I feel like it's an outrageous enough thought that I'm like, all right, this is interesting, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it catches your like you watch it, and it catches your eye to where it's like.
What would you compare the animation to? Like Simpsons?
I feel like it was like
or some like Adult Swim show like Daria.
Was it like no? Okay, there was another one that was like Adult Swim-ish. That I guess that was towards the end, but that one, what was it? I guess it's kind of like that George Jetson type animation. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I have to see it again. Maybe it was like kind of like Simpsons, I guess, because it was a little more 3-dimensional than just like.
Yeah, because the lady had like that lip thing that the Simpsons do.
Oh yeah, she did. She did. Like it's like a what is it? An overbite or yeah, it comes out a little more. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess I would. I guess Simpsons would be good. I guess I'd have to look at it again though.
Yeah, I don't remember it too well either, but it was that type of animation. It was well done.
Yeah. Well, and that's another thing, like you said, the animation, because I like obviously I remember it a little bit. Like it's like it looks like an actual show. Like it looked actually cool. Like you know what I mean? It looks like it could have been an actual show on whatever Adult Swim or
Robot
something
Chicken
like
or
that.
some shit.
Robot Chicken, yeah, something like that. So I was like, oh, okay. So that I appreciated that a lot, for sure.
Yeah. For me, I would probably give this a 3.
I was gonna say 3 as well.
Like, it's one of them ones you're kind of indifferent towards. Like, I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It got the job done.
Yeah, I got the job done in terms of like catching my eye. Because like if anyone watched that, they'd probably watch it all the way through and be like, "What the fuck is going on here?" So, yeah, it was cool.
All right. So next up, we got L. Is for libido. Off the top of your head, do you remember what that one was?
No, gonna have to describe it.
So it starts off with 2 guys strapped to a chair.
Oh, dude, never mind. This was I think this or the dog one is my favorite one.
Yes, sir.
This is my like my either second or first favorite one.
And it feels so weird to call it your favorite one, doesn't it? It's
Yeah.
my favorite one.
Nah, it definitely. I was about to say I give this one a. Well, I'll tell you at the end, but this was you already know because like this one was like my favorite for sure. Between this and the dog one, yeah, it is weird, but it's like it's realistic. It's like it's a bit realistic. You know what I mean,
bro?
And it's very dark. Yeah.
So,
Shout out to what is that? Was that a Japanese one?
Timo Tahanto.
Timo Tahanto. Okay.
Now this dude, the director, bro. Are you familiar with Indonesian like martial arts movies like The
No.
Raid?
Oh, I know The Raid. I watched The Raid.
So have you seen all the movies that guy's been in?
Did he do the one on the train to Busan or whatever?
No,
he
he
didn't
did
do
like
that.
there's a movie called Headshot. There's The Night Comes for Us.
I don't think I've seen that. I know The Raid though. I know that.
They're like these hyper realistic. Basically, they're like rated R Jackie Chan movies. Like
Yeah.
if Jackie Chan was like fucking throat stabbing motherfuckers
Right.
and all kinds of shit. That's what this type of movie is, and that's what this director. Those are the ones he's done.
All right.
But no, like I was saying, yeah. So this director, he does these like hyper realistic. My favorite movie of all time. I've thought about this for not a long time, but is The Night Comes for Us. It's on Netflix, and I'm pleading to you. Like I said, this dude directed it. Go watch it.
First, I'm gonna have to watch it.
The Night Comes for Us. It's one of the dopest like martial arts movies I've ever seen in my life.
Is it spooky or is it just like martial
It's just
arts?
ultra fucking violent, bro.
Okay.
Ultra fucking. You saw The Raid, right?
Yeah, I
Just
saw The
imagine
Raid, yeah.
that times about 30 with a better story.
Okay.
But so this director, bro, is fire. Let's just get into this fucking short, man. So 2 dudes are strapped to a chair. One of them wakes up. He's our POV. We're watching this through his eyes. And he sees like a naked chick, like a chick on a stage, just undresses. He looks around the room. He's in like some kind of theater, right? And people are just like on balconies, just watching him
like
and shit.
The mask and shit.
They're
like
dressed
that,
real
yeah.
formal. And the guy doesn't know what's happening. But then all of a sudden, the dude in the chair next to him just starts fapping.
Yeah.
Just fucking going for it really hard. And somehow he just has like the headspace to go, you know what? I'm going to do it too. He starts beating off, fucking finishes before the man next to him. And what happens is there's some chick sitting in the corner in this like throne-ish looking chair, some Asian chick. She gets up, goes behind the guy that didn't fucking finish, pushes a button, and a spike under his chair launches up his ass and comes out his fucking mouth and impales him. So we understand the rules of this game this guy has to play.
Right.
He's
has
in
to
a-
finish first.
He's in a jerk off competition.
I'm not trying to be crude, but I really feel like I'd win in this situation. I really think I could get this done.
You think he could go the distance?
Dude,
bro?
I think I go the distance. I think I could do like, okay, I got 5 minutes to regenerate. I think I could do it. I might be shooting blanks at the end, but I'll I'll finish. I think I could go the distance with
Hey,
this.
you
one.
and me, bro. You and me both. Bro. I
think a
thought
lot of
about
guys,
this. I was
yeah.
like, you know what? I think I got like a good fucking 5-stroke punch
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. If my mind's in the right place, fuck yeah.
at the beginning.
Yeah.
At the beginning, because it's like 4 rounds or some shit of him like, and it's got to be fucked up, dude. Because you know that like the dude next to you is gonna die when you beat him.
Yeah. Well, and also like it got a little more like, cause like the chicks were pretty good looking right in the beginning. Then I think it gets a little more different at the end.
Exactly, because towards the middle, right? So like around the 6th round or something, I can't remember the specific number. Out of nowhere, all of a sudden, it's not beautiful women coming in front of them. Now it's some chick who looks like she's been beaten in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And she takes off a fake leg and she starts fucking masturbating with a fucking fake leg.
Which, by the way, that, if I was in a wheelchair and had a fake leg and I had to just, get the job done somewhere, that's the way to do it. That's another way to utilize your fake leg right there.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
But so when the guy sees the chick doing this, he's disgusted. He's repulsed by it. I might be able to work with it.
Yeah, I think I could work with it. Depends on the mood I'm in.
It wouldn't be my proudest fat, but why not?
Yeah, why not?
But
yeah,
he's
I'm
repulsed.
sure I've done worse.
He's
sadly.
disgusted, and he has to make eye contact with the hot Asian chick sitting on the throne, who she starts giving him like some fuel or some ammo, right?
Yeah.
She like opens her legs for him, and that's how he gets the job done. Bam.
Oh, and then there's an eye, right?
He sees an eye in between her legs.
Yeah.
I don't get what that was, but it happened.
I don't get what that was, but yeah, it happened. Maybe because you fap so much, like he's already worn out. His balls probably look like raisins by now. Like, dude, he's already fucking. I'm sure he's hallucinating. That's what I thought. I was like, maybe he's hallucinating.
That's the secret to getting like psychic powers, bro.
Yeah, you just jack off so much that you fucking start seeing shit.
Nah, man. In high school, I'd have been like fucking the professor from X-Men if that was the rule.
Yeah, I think I'd be up there too, dude. I'd be Gene, dog. I'd be Gene.
We'd be straight mutants, bro, just floating.
I'd be erasing people off this earth, bro.
But nah, so fucking he finishes that round. I think he goes a couple more. But then we finally get to this round. Or no, before that happens. So he's like a round or two later, right? And he beats another guy. This guy's fucking the champ. Mm-hmm. And the chick goes, the girl who's sitting in the corner goes to the guy next to him's chair. She's hitting the button, and she always has this really fucked up smile when she's doing it. Like she's excited to hit this button and make this like stick go up these guys' asses. But this time she's hitting the button, nothing's happening.
Yeah, and you just keep seeing it go
like it's stuck. So she's kicking the chair, and what happens? Does the guy do something, or does she trip?
I think what happens is she's like leaning over his shoulder, and I think it just works, or maybe he didn't. He moved a little bit
because the spike goes up his ass according to plan, but it comes out his shoulder,
and she's
leaning over it, so it goes through her jaw.
Yeah, it kills her
straight through her dome, and so now she's dead. And the guy doesn't have any more like ammo to fucking stare at. Now it's just some Asian guy with a ponytail that looks really greasy, like, and that's who he has to stare at now whenever he needs to get distracted.
Right.
Because unfortunately for him, in the next round, he's sitting next to the pervious looking old Asian dude.
Yeah, who could just snap one off in any minute, man. He got skilled powers. It's not even fair, almost.
Because what comes on the stage next is it's a little boy with no shirt, right? And then we see like some fucking older chubby dude come on stage, and he starts to take off his shirt, and it's implied that there's some like pedo-y shit happening in front of him. And now this is probably the round. I'm tapping out.
Yeah, I think I die in this round. I'd be my dick would be in my body at this point. I'd be like, I can't do this.
The guy actually like vomits, and like, that's the fair reaction, bro. It'd be fucked up to watch. So the guy next to him, of course, fucking shoots one out, and then our boy passes out. And we don't see him get impaled. He actually like wakes up, right? he wakes up with like some really hot chick on top of
Yeah,
him.
bad. She's bad. Has big old
Fucking
titties and everything.
monster, bro.
Yeah.
And she's just riding him, bro, and he's going for it. He's like, you know what?
Yeah.
This isn't so bad.
I almost thought he was dead. Like, I almost thought he was dead, and that the chick who got her fucking shit fucked up, thought that was her. Maybe they're fucking in heaven. But then, obviously, that's not what happened. I was like, man, there's fucking in heaven?
This movie's fucking awesome,
yeah,
bro.
I was like, dude, this is a heaven I want to go
This
to.
guy reached fucking Indonesian Valhalla.
Mm-hmm. Fuck yeah, 72
Because
versions, baby.
He is fucking like hallucinating that it's that girl, but then it's kind of like flashing between the girl that died and the chick that's actually riding him.
Yeah, which is way better.
Way fucking better.
Oh, dude.
Giant titties.
Yeah, giant, man.
But
Especially for an Asian girl. I was like, damn.
And we can't really tell what's happening, but isn't he kind of like slowly getting his like bearings, and he notices
Yeah, he's kind of like, it's almost like a love naked scene, but it's also like you're kind of waking up from some Bill Cosby shit that just happened to you.
he's fucking shaking that roofie.
Yeah.
And, he looks down and he notices like the two dudes are in the chair fapping to him, and we're kind of confused also, like, what the fuck? And then you see the girl again. She does some motion with her hand, like a snap or like a come here motion with her fingers. She gets a chainsaw and she just starts sawing this fucking dude up.
Right.
So that's what these guys are beating off to, is this chick fucking chainsawing the main guy. And that's how the short ends.
Yeah. Which, by the way, you go the distance. You kind of deserve to die like that. You lost to a pedo. Okay. So now you got to fucking die. So it's kind of like, all right, dude, the chick that doesn't shove shit up your ass, she's not around. So I'm going to reward you with this hot chick and you're going to get sawed up. I exactly wouldn't be too mad at that. At least I got to go out pretty cool.
Listen. If we got to choose between drowning, falling off a building, or getting ridden by the thickest fucking Indian chick.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm going out with the chainsaw, dog. I think I'm going out with the thick Indian chick, man.
Bro, there's one part I forgot to mention, that in this short, like during the montages of him like fucking, striking down his opponents, he like put his hand up and it's just covered in fucking nut.
Yeah, they did that a couple times. Dude, I thought, because when she was fucking herself with the leg, I thought like cum was coming out of her. It was. But like she
shooting.
but didn't she come first? Oh, I guess she's not a part of it. That's what they have to jack off to.
Yeah. So no, she wasn't like the triple threat, bro.
She wasn't. Yeah, she was what you had to. Which, yeah, like you said, I think I could do it. Yeah.
That one wouldn't be terrible.
That wouldn't be too terrible. It's like,
This is messed up, but I mean, the whole thing is fucked
if
up.
I had to choose from like really disgusting clown porn and that, I might choose that.
Like if I had to pick between like furry porn and that.
Oh yeah, 100% picking a chick fucking herself with a leg. 100%.
Nah, dude, but this one was just fucking, it looked the best, I felt.
Yeah, it looked like an actual movie.
It looked like I think it might have been the longest, and I didn't mind it.
Yeah, it was super long. That's what I was going to say that too. It was a long one. What do you think, like 8 minutes, 10 minutes maybe?
Something, dude. It felt longer, but like you couldn't tell.
You couldn't tell, and it dragged out, and it's like one of those where like, and like when I say like these shitty ones where it's like it kept me going, like the poo one, it kept me going. Like you watched it, but it wasn't good. It wasn't like that good. But this, it's like holy like there's so many elements to it. Like, that's why it's like up there with the dog one, because for one, it's like, okay, we get to see titties. For two, there's a reason why it's not just like we're just seeing it. Like there's a reason, like, there's a whole point to it. Then it's also a fucked up way to die. It's also like you could kind of put yourself in that situation, right?
Yeah,
so,
dude. It's
especially as a guy, like you're like, oh fuck, man.
And the acting was fucking fire.
Yeah, they actually acted really good in it too.
Like the dude, you root for the guy, man.
Yeah, you're like, come on. I've never rooted for a guy to nut, but man, I was right there. I was like, come on, buddy. You got it. Just a couple more pumps, man.
Man, how weird of a game would it be to see if like you could beat him?
Yeah, I don't know. That guy's a trooper, dude. And like he was shooting out some loads on like the 6th, 7th round. He was
because
still
he
shooting
holds his
out
hand up, and when he turns it over, it looks like he had a whole fucking cup of gravy from Go Chicken
Yeah.
Go.
Ugh. Oh, bro, why you gotta bring Go Chicken Go into this, man?
That's what it looked like,
It
man.
did look like that, but man.
Thick ass fucking gravy.
Everyone in Kansas City's like, God damn it, I was gonna go there tonight. But
So to rate this one, dog, I mean, obviously 6.
Yeah, I give it a 6. It was great, dude. It was there's so much more I want to say about it, but I can't even think of it right now.
No, it's just highly recommended. This director, like I said, the rest of his movies, fucking Timo Tahanto.
Oh yeah, it looked like you said, it looked really professional.
That whole genre, I think it's like Jakarta, like I said, Indonesia. It's its whole own thing and
Yeah.
dopeness.
Hell yeah.
Now, to clash with that immediately, we go to M, which is for miscarriage.
Ooh, yeah.
So, you ready for this? 2 sentences. Chick can't flush the toilet. There's a baby in it. The end.
It's pretty gross. I want to say it's kind of cheap, but at the same time, it's a fucked up thing to show, and it's a fucked up thing to, Also, like, have you ever seen Nymphomaniac?
No, but I know what that is.
And there's a scene in I think the second one, she gives herself an abortion, and it was like really realistic, and it was like, holy fuck. So, and I don't know how they did that. I don't know if they made a fake vagina and just pulled out a fucking little fetus. I don't know what. But back to that, what we're talking about is like, I respect the realism of it. You know what I mean? I respect the realism of it. So, and it came out of, after watching the one before, and then just something real, 2 sentence basically, real quick. I respect it. Not much to say, but I respect it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. For me, it just felt lazy. Like, it felt lazier than the Gravity one.
It is lazy because they didn't even show like a fetus, really. They just showed like a...
It just looks like a little bloody gunk.
Yeah, a bunch of bloody gunk. So, it is definitely lazy. Like, I'll agree on that.
Because there's 2 camera shots. There's one where she's in the restroom, and there's one where it's like her walking up some stairs and in her kitchen. Oh, excuse me, there's the third one where she goes into the garage to get the plunger.
Right.
And then back in the restroom with that same shot.
Yeah. Okay, this is where I respect it, right? I don't respect it as a scene itself. Like, from that director doing it, like, that's lazy. It's real quick. But as watching the movie start to finish as a whole, throwing that in there throws you off a little bit. And like I said, I mean, this shit happens all the time, right? So, and the fact that it's like happening in your house, like, it's like terrible, right? It's just disgusting, and not like in a hospital or whatever. I don't even know how that shit works, but you know what I mean. So it's like, I respect, like I said, that's the only thing I really say is I respect the realism of it. And I like that they threw it in the movie. And I know it's like the director's choice. It's not like the whole organization of it, like the whole start to finish, that is in there. I respect just throwing that in there because it's like, oh shit, man, it's because it's really disturbing.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like you said, it's realism because that's a real thing. People have miscarriages.
And it's a way to die,
They drop them in the toilet. It's death, so it's on brand.
Yeah.
But for me, it missed.
Yeah.
So for me, I go 1.
Really? I want to say 2. I don't want to. Man, maybe I'm gonna have to give it a 1. But like I said, I do respect it, so I might have to. I might have to say 2, just because like I said, I do respect the realism of it. But like I said, as it in the movie, them putting it in the movie, maybe they could have done a better job at it. But but also the fact that it was so quick and like, oh god, to put that in there and throw you off after the last thing.
It was a twist.
Yeah, it's a little twist. It's like, oh god damn, like they put that in there. It's like, oh well, it's death. So I respect that. That is probably like maybe a 2 or a 3. But the scene itself, oh, it's a 1 for sure.
Yeah, that and the guy who directed this is another reason why I go low, because the director is Ty West, and he's a pretty well-known horror director. He did some of the VHS shorts in 1 and 2, and he did a movie called The Sacrament. It's a found footage movie based on the whole Jim Jones thing. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I think so.
Where the phrase "drink the Kool-Aid," the guy talked like 800 people to like drink poison Kool-Aid in his cult.
Is it like a real story?
Yeah, it's a real thing.
What the fuck? What's the movie called?
The Sacrament.
I feel like I've seen like the cover of it or something.
Yeah. But anyway, so Ty West directed those, and he also did this short, which is like, I expect more from you, friend.
Yeah, because if you're like I said, I want to watch that, The Sacrament, because that sounds like. Was it good? Did you like it?
The movie's okay. The
It's
real
okay.
story, like if you find podcasts on it, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's true. I'd rather watch like the real shit about
Because
stuff.
literally, bro, like 800 fucking people, he talked them into murking women, children.
And he murked all of them, killed them.
Yeah,
800. God damn, man.
women, like fucking 400 of them were kids.
That's disgusting.
Terrible. It's very depressing.
Yeah, it is.
Anyways, so next we go to N is for Nuptials. Do you remember what this one was?
Say, tell the scene. I'll remember it. I don't remember
Parrot.
these titles. Oh, this one was great. This one was awesome. I actually liked this one because it was fucking funny. I actually loved this one. Not like as a like. I just loved it. I thought it was funny.
It's just good spirit, bro.
Yeah, it's good
'Cause the
spirit.
music's with it too. Like it's anyway. So some dude brings his like girl. It's another some type of Asian. I don't want to assume what they were.
I don't
know
want
for
to
sure.
be. Yeah.
So some Asian couple, they're speaking some Asian language, and the dude brings his girl a parrot while she's cooking, and he's like, and she's kind of a bitch, bro. She's like, the fuck, I don't want this parrot, bro.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, check this out, look. And it's like, it tells her she's beautiful in their language, and she's like, tell me something I don't know. And doesn't he have like, he has the parrot bring her a ring?
Yeah, like he proposes to her.
He proposes to her with the parrot. And so, you know, it's this happy, lovey moment. And as they're kind of like coming down from this moment, the parrot starts to fucking do what a parrot does. And it starts repeating this dude's affair. He was fucking some other chick.
Yeah.
And the parrot's all like, oh, won't your girlfriend be upset if she finds out? And the girl's looking at him. And so these two are just looking at each other as the parrot's busting this guy out more and more.
Right.
And,
He's
like,
saying her name and shit like that.
and he's like, there's some phrase like, don't worry, mine's a little big, but you'll get used to it. And it goes all the way to the parrot, like fucking parroting this bitch's like moans.
Yeah, she's like, oh, it was fucking that was like where I was already like giggling during it, but then when he did the like doing the moans, I was busting out laughing. It was hilarious.
And it ends with the chick fucking snapping and just shiving the fuck out of him. Just stabs him 1,000 times, and that's how that short ends. And it, like you said, it was funny as hell. Very entertaining, and the music is building with it like some grand orchestra.
Yeah.
Da-da, some shit like that. It was fucking hella tight.
Yeah.
Now, this is another one of those things, like, is it good? Nah, I don't know, man. I would argue that it is pretty good.
I think it's pretty good because it's just a funny situation that I guess I don't know if it could happen, but maybe it could happen. I think that's cool. But as a whole, like as a scary, like if I want to be scared, like it's not scary, so it's more funny.
But it's definitely death.
Yeah, it's definitely death. So if it's in that brand, in that category, like you know, you gotta give it its respect, you know. And like you said, it's very entertaining. So
I think this is another one of those where I give it a 3 because I'm indifferent about it. Like, I didn't love it, didn't hate it. It's passable.
yeah, I was gonna give it a 4 because I loved it because I thought it was so entertaining, like you said.
Nah,
But-
you're right. It's entertaining as
Yeah.
shit. So if you give it a 4, man, I'd sign off on it
right.
too.
Yeah, definitely. It's not, but yeah, it's well, and plus like you said, it goes with the title, ABCs of Death. So that's a way to die, allegedly. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
And that one was by, holy fuck, Banjong Pizanthan I'd fuck that up.
Yeah.
Next one isn't any better. Okay, so this is the next one. O is for orgasm.
God, I'm so terrible. What?
This one's by Helena Catet and Bruno Forzani. And this one is literally an art thing. Pure art. It's a chick in like an all black room. She's in some type of chair and some guy's going down on her. But it takes about 5 minutes for you to notice that because it's showing all these abstract images of like bubbles.
Oh
cigarette.
yeah. I remember this one.
Like, it's very, very. You have to really be into film, I think, to fuck with this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was very, like you said, artsy because it was showing a bunch of different
Colors, different
and
effects,
shit like that. It was really trippy.
Like, I think this isn't something that I enjoy.
I didn't really like it either.
I'm not into film enough to be like to appreciate this kind of shit.
Yeah, I think it's not even. I don't know if it's a film thing. I think it's like an art, like the super artistic.
I think the word they use is abstract
Yeah.
interpretations,
Yeah.
fully beyond what I'm capable of explaining.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. That's perfectly said. Like weird colors and stuff like that.
Weird
and,
camera
yeah.
shots. There was one cool thing that happened though, where there's a bubble blowing and you see like a cigarette in slow mo putting it out.
Yeah.
That was tight. That's the one comment I have about this entire short. Which it wasn't long, but 5 minutes of this shit, dude. I don't know what the fuck's happening.
Yeah. It was weird. It was really weird. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not gonna rate it very high.
Well, yeah, because like I said, I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I guess it's like if I want to try to look at the art side, maybe it's like the emotions of a female orgasm or something like that.
Supposedly.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, and like how it how it feels like fireworks, but they didn't use fireworks. They used like you
Bubbles.
said, bubbles and abstract colors and weird like. Oh, at one point didn't they do kind of like a like when you kind of like move a camera angle, it's like the rainbow shit that goes around. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, shapes. Like yeah, it's very artsy, and I respect art and stuff, and especially in film, but like when you go too left field with it, I'm not into it. And I think a lot, and I know people who really direct and have gotten some good gigs and stuff, and they like stuff like that, but they're like, if you're too left field, they're like kind of with us, you know.
Like that's that thing Rogan makes fun of sometimes. You know, like isn't there some art museum where like somebody just has an empty like box and they're like, "You see that art?"
Yeah, yeah, right. That's almost like surrealism, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm not fans of those movies. I mean, there's something to say about them, but yeah, it is exactly like, oh, that's art, and it's like, but you kind of just are lazy.
At the end of the day, man, it's like, okay, you see it, but I don't get it.
Right, 100%.
So that's what we're going. That's why I'm going 1 on this bad boy.
I'll go with you on that one.
You know, I don't have a lot to say about it, so we'll just move on. The next one, P is for Pressure, and this is the one you were talking about earlier, and it's by Simon Rumley. And it's about the prostitute that has to take care of her kids.
Okay, yeah. This one was cool. I thought it was cool.
So this one, it's that's a female walking around with her kids doing random activities. Her daughter wants some bike. That's implied. There's no dialogue in this. This is just purely us watching this chick go about her daily activities. And we learn that at night she's an escort, a hooker, whatever you want to call it. And at some point she's at some club. There's some shady looking dude walking up to different females in there, and they're all shaking their head no to him. And then he goes to our main protagonist. She tells him no also. And she ends up going. So while she's out that same night, she's with a dude. So she's not at home with her 3 daughters. And some random guy breaks into their house and steals money she's been saving, right? Was this supposed to be like a stepdad, or am I looking too much into that?
I don't know, man, because it's
Not
not
a
that
stepdad, but a real dad.
I couldn't tell because I was wondering that too, but it's like there's one thing about this thing is like there was stuff that I feel like they didn't interpret very well. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, like we didn't translate it good.
yeah, for sure. Because I'm with you on that. I don't know if you're looking too deep or if because I kind of thought that too. I just didn't.
Because she was walking around with there was another guy that was with her, and I'm assuming that was like a boyfriend.
Right.
So I'm assuming the guy that was in the house was like maybe the kid's dad who isn't part of the picture.
Right.
But then, again, I could be reaching. So some guy jacks their money while she's out. So the next scene is her, going back home and her being upset with her kids that this money's gone. She can't buy this bike. So she ends up having to take out the card of the guy that was asking females in the club to do something, right? And I didn't see it going where it goes. She ends up going to some warehouse and she's dressed up in some like dominatrix looking garb with some giant ass heels.
Yeah.
And there's these like little animals, I might be making it up. Is there like little hamsters, chicks, and fucking small
like
cute
that.
animals?
Yeah, because I remember she was like looking at them in the little thing.
And she picks up a kitten, a real small kitten. She's kind of cuddling it. And she ends up walking over to where the guy is setting up a video camera. And she puts the cat on the floor. And she's kind of kicking it with her heel a little bit. Softly kicking, though. Just lightly, like kind of just tossing it around, playing with it. And then in one motion, the next second, she's stomping the motherfucker. And the next scene is her buying her daughter the bike.
She went the distance for her kid.
And that's how that one ends. That's another very dark one.
It was very dark. It was a good story, and like I said earlier, like it's very real. But honestly, I forgot a lot about like the beginning and the stepdad and stuff like that was into it. So I guess I don't know. I guess in a realism standpoint, it's like, oh, that's pretty realistic. That can happen and stuff like that. But I don't know.
This feels like the most complete story in this series.
Yeah, I'll agree on that.
Like, we got all the context in the world. Like, I mean, like, short of the guy who jacked the money, but like I said, that doesn't really matter. We knew who she was. We knew what she wanted, why she had to do something, and what she got out of it. That's the complete story. A lot of these were just kind of plopped in the middle of scenarios.
Right. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely, yeah, you're right. It's definitely like just like a scenario, what would happen. And like, it's almost kind of commenting on like how far would you go for your kids or whatever? How far would you do? And then, but like already she goes the distance for a kid being a hooker or whatever. So it's like, but, and like, well, like I was talking about earlier, I respected, like, I thought it was really, really cool that it was really realistic because that shit is on Best Goal or whatever back in the day they used to have, or if they still have those sites, I don't know. And I remember hearing about that like way before this movie came out when I was a kid, people doing that.
You seen that that documentary on Netflix called "Don't Fuck with Cats"?
That's also what I was thinking of too. And that's a cool situation. That was a weird, cool situation. And then people who don't have a lot to do with their lives got a hold of it and fucking chased this guy down.
What was the guy's fucking name, dude? The name
was like Francis or something. He's a French dude, wasn't he, or something like that?
Was he French or was he like Russian?
I don't know. Something like that.
He had a real
yeah.
memorable fucking name that I can't remember, ironically.
Yeah, he was a character, man. He was a wild guy. That was a great watch, man. But like, it was just so, I thought it was so funny because it was like these people have nothing to do that they're chasing this guy,
I know. But nah, so that's what this is kind of reminiscent of. I don't know if that's what this was inspired by, actually. It probably was.
I don't know. Was that, well, this is 2012. When did that come out?
That's old because that was when the internet was still in its like kind of not infancy, but like you could still just post. It was the Wild Wild West still. It wasn't monitored as heavy.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because if they would have did that now, they probably would have caught that guy way quicker.
Yeah. There's always been like weird shit. Like I remember when I was younger, because when I consider younger for me is like mid 2000s, 2004 to 2008.
Right.
There was always like random videos people shared of like one was of some chick like chucking fucking puppies into a river.
Yeah.
She had like a sack and she was just pulling the fuckers out and just chucking them.
Right. There's always fucked up shit like that.
I mean, you give people cameras, man, people are gonna do weird shit. But no, this one, like I said, I enjoyed it. The rating for this one's tough because this is similar to the dogfight one for me. Where I want to say a 5 because I don't think it was flawless, but at the same time, I don't think
it was.
It wasn't perfect.
I don't think it was like so much of like. I think it is respectable in the sense that like, yeah, shit like this, like I said, shit like this does happen, and it's like, oh, that's something to think about. But at the same time, we kind of know that shit, and it was cool, but like we know that shit like this happens, you know what I mean? I guess I sounded more enthusiastic earlier, but now when I think back of the whole thing, they kind of put a little, I feel like they put a little too much in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like they tried to be a little too creative, and I don't think it was that, like, as a whole wasn't that creative. But it was cool. It was a decent scene, right?
What do you give it?
Man, I give it a 3 or a 4. I'd probably say 4 because like I said, I was hyping it up earlier, but then when you reminded me like the whole beginning, kind of
drag a little bit.
It dragged a little bit, right? It was like, and it kind of came, but you know what? I'm gonna say 4. I'm gonna say 4 because you know what? You got a mother going the distance, and it's like really fucked up shit. I'm
gonna go 5 because I think it was well done, but it wasn't that exciting of a story.
Yeah, it wasn't. That's perfect. It wasn't exciting. Yeah. That's
like you can tell it was good. I don't have a lot to complain about it, but just the overall story wasn't enough for me to justify bringing it up to the perfect.
That's a perfect way to describe it. It wasn't very exciting.
So we move on to Q is for Quack by Adam Wingard and Simon Barrett. Adam Wingard, he was in VHS 2. He was in the opening segment. He was the guy with the fake eyeball. You said you've seen that movie, right?
Yeah, VHS,
So that's the same. That's who the director was, the main guy. So this one is really aggro, meaning that like they aggressively did it from the direction of what happened behind the camera. Remember?
Yeah. And they they were trying to shoot the duck or whatever. And they had it in the cage.
Because it starts out with them like brainstorming ideas. They're like, "Who the fuck is? What are we supposed to do with Q? What the fuck can you do with Q?" Mm-hmm. And there's like some chick doing topless, fucking doing lines of blow right behind them. And they're trying to make her scream, and that's gotta suck for females, bro. Remember, because they tell a female to scream, but she can't hit that high pitched scream.
Right.
So it sounds like me trying to scream.
Right.
And fucking, so they end up deciding like, what if we do a real death? What if we have like a real death in the ABCs of death, the only one?
Right.
And they're like, well, what can we kill that starts with a Q? And that's when they end up. They're like, quail's the only fucking animal that starts with a Q, right? Mm-hmm. Or is there another one you can think of?
I'm not that big of an animal guy, so I would
Fuck me neither.
Quail or I don't know. I don't know.
We'll just assume Q's the only animal.
Yeah.
So they end up taking a quail out to the fucking desert, and they both pretty much bitch out on shooting it.
Yeah. Besides then
One guy ends up doing it, but something happens with his gun. Right?
Okay, that's what I wanted to talk about, because I didn't really get because I kind of looked away for a second, because it happened so quick, right?
Yeah.
Because he shot his buddy and himself.
Yeah, because something happened. The gun missed, or the gun jammed, or some shit.
It jammed, and then he was fucking with it, and I don't know if it backfired and shot him, and then also shot because it was one shot.
He put it to the side, and he shoots his boy while he's looking at it, and his boy's holding his gun, so he falls back and shoots him.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, now that makes sense. So his boy shot him. Okay.
So they both murked themselves, and they had a sound guy with him, and the sound guy runs off into the desert.
Which was kind of shitty, man. If my boys shot each other, I'd probably stay there and help them out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Even if, because you assume that was just his boss.
Right.
So even if your boss did it, you're like, all right, you still gotta...
Yeah, well, anyway, it's like if you see someone in a car wreck dying, you're going to help them out, It's kind of fucked up. I was like, why are you running?
And the last shot is of the quail in the cage. This one... lazy.
I thought it was lazy. I thought, what, they try to do, behind the scenes thing, I guess it wouldn't be third wall, but yeah, behind, what are we going to do for the movie? And that's always kind of going to be a humorous thing. Is that's kind of a funny concept already.
It was funny.
Right, yeah, well, it was funny. But, like you said, you could have done it better, right?
There's not a whole lot there to, digest.
Yeah. Which, honestly, I kind of wonder if they asked to do that to give you some relief. You know what I mean? I wonder if you got the lazy one on purpose. Or maybe, you know what I mean? Because, if it was all intense all the way through, would it have done as good as it did? You know what I mean? Because you always need some downtime and film. And I was thinking that, maybe they said, okay, make it quick but intense. You know what I mean? Just make this one go hard, go soft, whatever.
I would imagine, I don't know for sure, this is probably all made up in my mind. I would imagine the way that the movie frames it out is that these directors were given one letter and they just said, make it about death. And they probably said something like, keep it under 10 minutes. So that'd be the equivalent of them, say if me and you were fucking making a movie and they were like, all right, you guys, you get G, keep it under 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then we could do whatever the fuck we wanted with it.
Right.
And I think, some people just felt like going the humorous route.
Yeah. That's probably what it was. Because because it is all over the place. So I guess that would make sense of what I was thinking. Plus, like, you could tell when
Like, they
someone's
probably weren't real specific with them. Like, this one has to be 6 minutes.
Right.
This one has to be a little more exciting. Like, I think they just had the freedom to do whatever.
right. Yeah, they just had all that freedom. Yeah, that makes sense because everything's so different. So
Because
yeah,
if
I
that
guess
was
you're
the
right.
case, imagine if they were like, "Hey, we want you to do some Japanese schoolgirl inhaling another Japanese woman into her asshole."
Right. Well, and what I mean more is like
You mean just tone and shit?
the tone. Yeah, like okay, I give you B, but keep it moderate. Because I don't want them to be that excited until D. Then D
Nah, dude,
comes around.
You imagine how fucked you'd be as a director. Like,
yeah, I'd
this
be
is
like, fuck you.
like I said, in our scenario, we got G. H is fire, so we need you to kind of,
Yeah.
just play it safe.
Yeah, play it safe. Yeah, probably not. I don't know why I was thinking that, but I don't know.
But anyway, so Q, fucking, I'll go 1.
I go 1 as well.
So
Wasn't
next,
much.
we get R is for removed. I cannot say that name. Serdan Spazojevich. Sure.
Sounds like Russian or something.
Do you remember what this one is?
No.
So it's the one where the guy's like bandaged up, and when he's in a hospital bed, and when they take the bandages off of him, they start peeling his skin, and his skin has fucking film inside of it.
Yeah, I remember this one. It was gross because it looked like potato skin.
This is another one I didn't get.
I didn't understand it either. It's just him peeling the skin off, and I was telling my buddy because we just ate at that moment, and I was like, bro, I can't. And he's eating a donut watching this. I was like, bro, I can't eat and watch this shit. I have to put it aside and wait. I won't care. And I'm like, dude, I was like, oh, that looks like a potato skin. And he's eating a donut, and he's like, why would you say that? I'm like, well, those are two different things. You're not gonna think of a potato while eating a donut, you know.
Shit was gross.
It was disgusting. It was more eerie than anything. Like that's what the point was of doing it.
And like I said, the part that I don't get was there was one part in this where they take him to like some great hall or some shit, and they put him in a cage, and he's like in a wheelchair, and he's got some like big ass hat and a trench coat on, and then a bunch of people run up to him and start like licking him and
Licking
shit.
them, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, they're licking them.
They're touching him.
I think it was something about like being famous and paparazzi and like, because I remember I did was like,
Oh shit.
yeah, I think that's what they were trying to say. Something about peeling, maybe metaphorically peeling your skin off. I don't know. I think
For
that's
film.
what it was. Yeah, for film.
Whoa.
And then the because think of it, you're a fucking act. Like I'm Leonardo DiCaprio, and
That's all you're worth. Your entire being is film, movies,
Yeah.
entertainment.
then you come out to like, well, and then that paparazzi comes over and is just licking him, like licking his fucking shit. It's like,
Whoa.
well, how many bitches you think would lick fucking a scab on Leonardo DiCaprio? You know, I bet there's some out there. I mean, it's
Bruh.
Leo.
I like to think I'm good at picking up like analogies and metaphors and shit. That's crazy you brought that up because I didn't
Yeah.
connect those dots at all.
I just that's what I thought at the end because he was still kind of bandaged up a little bit at the end, right?
Mhm.
But they started licking him. So that's what I thought. I thought that's what it felt like. I felt like the whole thing was like an analogy because I kind of forgot about that ending. So yeah, I think it was something like that, some metaphor or something.
Yeah, because after his like little thing with the fans and shit, they go back to fucking peeling his skin off. And when they leave the room, doesn't he like peel his skin and he pulls like a fucking bullet out?
I don't remember that part, but maybe yeah.
Yeah, because there's a part where they put a bedpan under him and he takes a shit.
And the
And the
bullets in there?
doctor helps him fucking shit into this bedpan. And once the doctor turns his back, the guy gets out of bed and fucking throws his fucking face in the bedpan.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy has shit all over his face.
Maybe. God, I feel like there's a lot of metaphors in this. Because I think, I was just thinking, maybe the thing is, like, when you're, they always say you got to have thick skin if you're going to be in showbiz and stuff. Maybe it's like how like, you take so much shit for being an actor or podcast, like a famous person. You got to have thick skin, and people are just tearing off your skin.
People are taking layers.
The fans are just tearing at your
Man.
skin. Like, how thick is your skin? How thick can your skin be if you're an actor? Like, you could tell me I have thick skin, but dude, you don't know what it's like to have 1,000 comments calling me a fucking idiot or calling me something just for something I said 3 years ago or just from doing a shitty movie.
Okay, but with the contrast to all that, so we got the metaphor in that, but then the way this one ends is him escaping from the hospital. He has a bullet in his skin, gets a gun, shoots one guy, impales another guy with his IV stick, Fucking, he gets out. He's in a train yard for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Pushes a train, and I didn't know this. I didn't get it, but apparently from reading this, he ran himself over with the train, and that's how he died.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
I thought he just bled out pushing the train. So he had like superhuman strength, right?
Oh, okay. I don't know. I can't really remember that. But yeah, he ran himself over with the train.
And
I
then it
remember the
starts to
train.
rain blood.
Yeah.
I just thought that was some effect they felt like putting in, but like I said, I didn't get it.
Rain blood upon thee. I don't know. Maybe there is, dude. I feel like this had a lot of metaphors in it. If I want to be honest.
Yeah, like you said, that initial one is big, but beyond that,
I think they put like. I think they put like a big one, and then maybe they put like little ones in there because I don't know about that. I think it had to. I feel like it had to be something about fame, for sure. But like running over with the train, like maybe like you run yourself over, something like that. I don't know. But then the raining blood thing, that sounds almost like biblical. I don't know.
well, that could be that thing for when famous people die. The sky rains blood and everybody fucking weeps.
Ah, that's a good one because like everyone's like, oh, they died. Like you didn't even know them, but yet you're sad about it.
Yeah, but I feel like you probably never seen this movie. There's an old movie called Dark Man. You ever heard of that?
Dark Man. Oh, with Liam Neeson. Is that Liam
Is he the
Neeson?
one in it?
Huh?
You know what it's about, right? It's like a fucking. Basically, it looks just like the fucking guy, the bandaged guy.
Yeah, Bandage. Liam Neeson.
He wears like the hat with the big old trench coat.
Yeah, that was Liam. I'm pretty sure that was Liam Neeson. Yeah, I've
the
seen
dude
that.
in this short, bro, is Dark Man.
Oh, okay. Is that what they were?
No, it's not legit, but it's the
it did
same
look
fucking
like him.
concept.
Yeah, because he had the hat and the thing. Because I remember in the movie they have that. Yeah, I've seen that. I have it. They have a cigar cutter and cuts off the guy's finger in it.
I haven't seen it, bro, since I was like 5, but I remember it.
Yeah.
Like just the way the guy looks is iconic to me.
Dude, it is. That's so crazy. They made a Dark Man 2, I believe, too.
There's like fucking 3 of them, I think.
Is there?
Yeah,
because I actually really remember that. Well, I don't remember the movie too much, but I remember watching. I watched it really young too. I was like 6 or 7.
Like at Blockbuster.
Yeah,
Shit, right?
yeah. That's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I do remember that.
That's a very obscure reference, I feel like, nowadays, though.
What? That
Dark Man, like I don't think a lot of people know what the fuck Dark Man is.
No one knows what it is. That is weird because I remember it being on HBO one time and I started watching it and I was like, oh, I bought this one time because I was like, this looks cool. I was like a kid. I remember that's like was my toys as a kid. I bought movies, so or my mom got me movies or rented movies. And I remember watching it, and especially that cigar scene in the beginning when he cuts his finger off with a cigar cutter. I was like, oh. And then at the end, didn't he? Oh, because they make like artificial faces in it too, don't they?
Yeah, he wears fake faces. It's crazy how you're like, because I don't remember it. Like, I just know the guy, what he looks like and shit. I didn't know it was Liam Neeson.
Yeah, it was Liam. I'm pretty sure it was Liam Neeson.
Shit, man. But now, so for this one, what do you rate it?
If I understood it better, I'd rate it higher. But if I'm correct on this metaphor, I'd give it honestly, I'll probably give it a 4 just because like I know there's something I'm not getting. So I gotta respect it. And it's not too left field artsy fartsy like the bubble.
I don't know, dude. It was pretty close to artsy, like with the metaphors.
It was, but it's like, but at least I can.
We can comprehend it.
Yeah, you can comprehend it a little, and even if you can't understand it, you could still probably be like, "Oh, that's what that means," But that other one, you couldn't do. I feel like you couldn't do that. I feel like you had to be fucking on something to figure that out.
I'm still going with the 3 because you had to help me get there. So for my initial thing, like I said, the violence and the kills and shit in it were cool. So I'm going with the 3. You got the 4.
Yeah, that's understandable.
So the next one we got is S is for Speed by Jake West.
Oh, I loved this one.
This one was fucking crazy.
I liked this one.
So 2 fucking dime piece pasty white chicks, my favorite. They're dressed up really. They got their best like thought fucking Tomb Raider outfits on, like Laura Croft from Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
And one of them is like has the other chick prisoner, and they're running from some guy who looks like. How do you describe the guy?
He was like a. What did he? Because he had like a hat. He had like a. Almost like a fucking Star Wars thing on, like a hoodie on, didn't he? In the end, or?
I think so. I thought he looked like Nemesis from Resident Evil.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because like he had
But his
like
face
one of
was
those.
fucked up.
Yeah,
wasn't
he
it?
had like one of those fleshy faces.
Yeah.
Real big dude.
They didn't show him too much though. They kind of show the side of him, right?
No, the only thing I didn't like was that his voice was kind of corny.
Yeah, it was like kind of.
like that voice that talks like this.
Yeah, it was almost kind of predictable. It would have been better if it just been like a regular voice.
Anything but what they did.
Right.
But that's a very small complaint because, like you said, some of the shit they do in this is dope.
Yeah.
So the two fucking pasty females are running away. One of them puts the other one in a trunk of a car, and a flamethrower just matriculates out of thin air. She just finds one on the ground, a big ass flamethrower, and she sets the dude on fire, right? She's shooting a fucking flamethrower, and it's a real flamethrower, right?
Yeah, I'm guessing.
I'm assuming also
Right.
it looked pretty real if it fucking was fake. And after that, she gets in her car, and she's whipping it, and in the trunk, I think the girl's telling her something like, she keeps calling her a junkie bitch. And at first, you think it's like just some random fucking insult, right? But it comes into play later.
Yeah, for sure.
She's like, fuck you, you junkie bitch, or some shit like that. And it's like, that's a random fucking insult. But anyways, doesn't her car run out of gas because she's getting chased by the guy?
Yeah, and they're like Speed. It's almost like if you watch the movie called Speed, it's almost like that. Like they're just Speed, or like a Too Fast, Too Furious, or even cornier, like not Too Fast, Too Furious. That one that was like kind of about bikes. It was like the off-brand Too Fast, Too Furious.
About bikes?
It was like the bike version of
Need
Too
for
Fast.
Speed?
No, it wasn't Need for Speed. I didn't really like that either. But it wasn't that. But it was in that. It kind of felt like an early 2000s, not fat like an off-brand Fast and Furious, one of those they made, and it felt like that. It was like all speed. It went with the title Speed. They're
So
all
kind of
racing.
like just a corny chase movie.
Yeah, adrenaline rush. Yeah.
So her car runs out of gas, and the guy catches up to her. She pulls the old girl out of the trunk, and when the guy goes up to her, he's like, "You can't outrun me," or some shit like that. And she tries to throw the female in front of her, and the guy's like, "It's not her time yet." So it feels like we're missing a big ass chunk of story because she's all like, I'm not ready to go," or some shit.
Right.
And doesn't he kind of just like touch her hand and she just dies? Like nothing crazy happens to her. Right?
Yeah, I was like, because they were. It almost felt like at first I thought they were like fighting over the dude, or almost kind of felt like one of those like he's like the pimp and like they're kind of fighting over like who's gonna die or who's gonna live, who's gonna smack, like, you know what I mean, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that's what so yeah, you're right. There's like a big chunk. So that's what I assumed. Like maybe they were like both working for him and then they fucked up or something like that,
That's what's implied. But then we learn that after the chick dies, this is actually all a made up story in their heads because they're both, in fact, junkies.
Yeah.
They're in like the crack house, the most crack houseiest of the crack houses you could ever see.
Yeah. I cracked a joke. I was like, man, it looks like my basement. Like I was fucking around watching it. It really doesn't, but I was just fucking around. I was like, I'm going to say that tomorrow on the podcast.
Nah, man, it's some next level crack house shit.
Definitely.
Like there was trash and shit all over the place, and the two females, they're not exactly, for meth heads, bro, they're still fuckable.
Yeah. I mean, they got fuckable fucking, some fuckable chicks. But then they do look a little more like, I guess, because they were hot in the thing. But they were still, they got a hot ass action. Then they put some fucking, the little scratchies on them and made them look a little more paler, I guess. Or already.
Let's just say that when we saw them in like junkie form, the erection didn't go away. Okay.
Yeah, it did.
So
no, it was still there.
They look dirty as fuck, but I mean, they were still fine.
I mean.
So yeah, so we learned that the one that got taken by the guy actually OD'd. And the last scene is her friend, the other pasty chick. She reaches over and takes her stash to get high some more. So really, it was like one of those dare things, like why you don't do drugs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it kind of was. But it was in. God, I wonder if like maybe the person who directed it like recovered from doing speed. So first off, I didn't know you could like inject speed. I know you can probably inject almost anything, but I didn't know that was a thing. Because I don't do stuff like that. So I was like, I didn't know.
Dude.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I know some crack and meth heads and some heroin addicts, man, but I don't know nothing about it. So I was like, I don't know. It was weird, but I thought the scenery of like,
When they're in the desert and shit.
well, no, well, yeah, I thought that was cool. Well, I thought the whole concept of okay, yeah, they were high and they were imagining it was cool. Especially like if you're like an adrenaline junkie or something like that, and you're watching that, you're like, maybe that's like obviously that's probably exaggerated, but like I don't know. Maybe if you're on meth, you imagine shit like that. I wouldn't know, but like it's like I thought the scenery in the basement was pretty cool because it's so gross.
Bro, that did look dark as fuck.
It looked dark and it looked disgusting. Cause like, dude, me, funny story. Me and my uncle used to clean out crack houses for money. So my uncle would, and I've only done this once. He did it twice, and we used to clean them out because this dude in I think it was like Leavenworth. He owned these like apartments, and it looked exactly like that, but like an apartment of like just fucking no doors, needles everywhere, shit on the floor. Like, it was the most disgusting thing, and I did not. I'm still mad at him for this because I did not get paid what I should have got paid. I was like, dude, I was cleaning out a fucking meth lab, man, because he was just getting paid for gutting it out because he was selling it. The guy was selling it, but it was like, you know, I've like me seeing that and then seeing that it looked like identical. So I was like, dude, that's pretty clear setup.
Yeah, like I said, I called it the crack houseiest of the crack houses,
Yeah.
man, because it looks like rock fucking bottom, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that looks like that's one step above hell. Like
Yeah, 100%.
Like it doesn't get much worse than that. So it was a good metaphor, I feel like, for, you know, when you're hooked on those type of drugs, when you're doing those things, you're kind of dancing on that line between life and death.
Right. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and I'm always, I don't know, I keep saying like the realism part of it, but like I mean, that shit happens, right? And then, like you said, like the whole like it's like a metaphor of like, dude, you're having a good time with this fucking action movie in your head, and it's such a good time, and then you look at the reality of it, like you're just fucking doing meth or speed or whatever the fuck you're doing in a shitty ass, nasty ass fucking crack of the crack houses, and it's just dirty. And like you said, it's rock bottom, like it's right there below, like you're one step above hell.
Now, that's all for the cinematography, though. But you talk about the acting.
I feel like the action was pretty shitty. I want to
Yeah,
say.
dude, it wasn't that good.
Yeah, it
the
wasn't
actresses and even the main bad dude, like it wasn't anything.
Yeah. I think a lot of the acting in this movie was kind of like the dog one was good. There's a lot of them were good, but there's also a lot of them were kind of shitty. So,
Yeah,
you know, I mean, you're getting 26 different directors. So, but
like I'm saying, because we were kind of sounding like we were praising this one for a second. Don't get me wrong, like I liked it and it was good, but there's also
yeah, your actors play a big role in it. And it definitely, because I remember like it was real. And maybe it was purposeful, probably not. But like, you know, like you watch those old corny ass action movies back in the day, and they're pretty shitty actors. Like they're pretty shitty acting. Like, you know, you got no names in there, and it's like cheap fucking, just cheap of the cheapest fucking, you know, cinematography, graphics, and shit like that. So,
but at the end of the day, they're having a good time.
right, yeah,
This is what happened
100%.
in this one also. So for this one, what would you give it?
Storyline. I guess besides that, I give it a 4. I give it a 4.
I'd probably just stay on a 3. It's another one of those, like, didn't hate it, didn't love it. Like, I wouldn't take it out. I feel like if you go under a 3, you're like, it shouldn't have been in this.
Yeah.
That's kind of where my scale has gone, I'm realizing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, like you said, like the acting was shitty and stuff like that. I kind of liked the little twist on it. That's what I liked, and I liked because I mean, you look at them being all actiony, like those are two different movies almost. You know, you look at the actiony and then the crack house, like that looks real, and then you see the bullshit, the corny bullshit that they were doing in the beginning. It might be what it looks like when you're getting high on meth.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna find out, man.
Yeah, I don't ever want to find out.
So the next one though, T is for toilet.
Oh yeah, this one was good. I like this one.
This is a full claymation, straight Gumby. I'm trying to think of all the claymations I know. There's not a whole lot of them.
Gumby, the Santa Claus. Here
Santa
Comes
Claus. Oh, those old Christmas movies. Rudolph,
Yeah,
right?
I kind of liked those. I
That
watched
shit
those.
was fire, bro.
Dude, I watched those actually this year. I put them on, and actually YouTube has it, and they put like old commercials in it. It was pretty dope.
It's got the Yeti in it, right?
Yeah, he's got the Yeti.
Scary as fuck.
Yeah, then they got how Santa Claus became Santa Claus and shit like that. I thought it was cool.
So claymation can be dope if it's done well.
Oh, Wallace and Gromit. That's claymation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Wallace and Gromit.
So this one starts with a potty chair outside of a house and a trash can.
Mm-hmm.
So a family's trying to teach their boy to use the big boy potty.
Mm-hmm.
And while they're trying to teach the kid, don't they...
They mentioned someone dying, don't they, on the toilet or something like that?
Yeah, the dude's like... he's like, nobody's ever died on the toilet because there's some type of foreign. And the wife's like, what about Elvis?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, Elvis died on the floor. I might be thinking of another movie for that reference. I don't think that happened.
No, I think he did. I think you're right. I think so. I think because I know they're kind of like British sounding or something like that, and then they were like talking about, well, no one ever died on the toilet, and then they started naming shit that's happened on the toilet, and the kid's like, what the fuck? Why are you saying that? It was kind of funny because it was like you're trying to like help them out, but then it was like they weren't really helping them out. They weren't helping their case if you can go on the toilet because he was so scared of it.
Doesn't he talk about, what is that thing that's over the top of the toilet? Is it a shelf? Or is that where they put their water tank?
Like the
Remember, because they had the toilet, and then above the toilet
was a shelf.
Was that thing that he had screws in. He talks about, I put the wrong screws in that thing above the toilet.
Oh, I didn't know he talked about that, but I mean that leads to the ending, right? So,
Yeah, because remember, that's why he's the kid's sitting on the toilet, and one of the screws falls out. And this is the first part. This is why he hops off the toilet scared.
right.
And the dad's like, what's wrong? And then he goes to look in the toilet, and the toilet's full of like green slime coming up. It overflows, and then the fucking wall starts like dripping fucking green slime and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's at this point that the dad turns around and he goes, or no, doesn't the fucking toilet get like a face first?
Yeah, the toilet gets a face, and it's like it kind of like comes off, like it's almost like a slinky kind of comes up and fucking. I think it attacks them or eats them or something.
It straight turns into a fucking monster toilet in claymation. But before it eats him, the dad turns around and looks at the mom, and he utters the line, "Call the plumber now."
Call the plumber now.
And then the toilet,
No.
it doesn't just fucking eat him, dude. The toilet fucking, doesn't it go up his ass? Like a tongue comes out, goes up his ass.
Oh yeah,
And the
yeah,
tongue
it
comes
does.
out the dad's mouth, and the dad's like impaled on this fucking toilet's tongue, just kind of
Yeah.
floating around before it sucks him in.
Right.
Or no, while he's still fucking floating, the mom grabs something and like stabs the toilet in the eye. But when she does it, fucking the blood from the toilet is acid and gets on her face and melts her fucking face. And so they both die like that. And then doesn't the kid just fucking scream and he wakes up at the middle of the night? It was a nightmare.
Yeah, it was a nightmare. Yeah.
So none of that was real. So, but he wakes up and his stomach rumbles.
So he has to shit.
So he's got a shit, man. So what's a man to do? He goes to fucking take care of business.
Taking care of it.
And the dad sees him do it, and dad's all fucking puts the Breakfast Club fists in the air, bro, as he's walking to the restroom. And so the kid's using the restroom, and I think, again, the fucking screw falls overhead.
The screw falls, yeah, and then
He gets scared, so he falls off the toilet, and he screams. And the dad goes in the restroom, and he sees the kid, like, with his head under the seat.
he's under the seat. The toilet's like, it's like trapped on his neck. He's like crying, right?
And the dad's just laughing, and the kid's fucking, like, whimpering. But then that fucking shelf that's hanging overhead over the toilet because he didn't put the right screws in falls, crushes the kid's fucking head.
Yeah, that was that was wild. I really liked that ending, like, and I think they just kind of put their nuts on the table a little bit, like, oh, we're gonna do this crazy, spooky stuff or scary, vivid, like tongue going up the ass and stuff like that, and then the kid wakes up, and then like it's like, oh no, that didn't really happen. What are they gonna do? And then the whole screw thing, and then I think it's fun. Like I thought it was hilarious because it's like you know what's gonna happen. You're like, oh no, and when the kid is under it, the dad's just laughing because it's like funny. Like you come in seeing your kid with his fucking neck under the seat, like he got scared and fell. And then like 1 minute he's laughing at his son, and then the thing falls and kills him, and it's like, oh my god, like I bet the dad was like, oh my god, like I made my kid go to the bathroom and now he's dead.
I think that's what that was supposed to be, right? Is you see this stuff at the beginning, like, yeah, this is horrible, you know, this monster toilet's mutilating these parents. But when you think about it, the scarier part is the part where your kid dies at the end of it.
Yeah.
That's even darker than all that shit.
Yeah.
Because that's real. That's not nothing to do with the fucking toilet monster, bro. That's
right.
You got killed because you were lazy about putting screws in the fucking shelf.
Right, 100%. Yeah, because that could totally happen. A dad could just be like half-ass something and be like, ah, fuck it. It'll be all right. It's just above the toilet. It's not like it's over anyone's head or anything, you know? And then you fucking, then the thing is, also the thing is, like, the fact that he fucking was laughing at his son, you know, because it was funny. Like, the kid's head is under the toilet. It's like, oh, ha, ha, ha. He just busts out laughing. And then the next second, the thing just drops and kills him. It's like, oh, fuck, what did I do? I didn't put the right screws in. I was laughing. I wanted him to go to the bathroom. He went. He should have never went to the bathroom.
Funny story, bro. This is the second bookshelf I've had in this corner. And the first one I had was taller, and it was from Walmart. And it was missing the back part that holds it all together so it would wobble. My fucking daughter does her homework, like, right here. And one day, bro, that motherfucker just toppled over, bro, with all this shit in it and the books. And I remember I just heard the sound while I was sitting over there, and I was like, Bells? She was like, I'm okay. Like,
oh, God.
bro, I was almost his dad.
That's crazy. How old is she?
She's 6.
Oh, okay. Oh, God.
Not like newborn, bro, but she still would have got fucked up by that
Yeah.
bookshelf.
Oh, God, that would have been terrible. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I bet as a parent, that's just like probably those little things, huh? And you're like, okay, I need to fix this because I got a kid running around here.
Yeah. But this one, bro, for me personally, I go 6 because it's just so different and it was well fucking done.
Yeah, I got nothing to complain about it. I'll follow up. Give it a 6. Give it a 6. I thought it was cool. It was cool, well done. You gotta respect it. It was claymation.
There wasn't no parts that I felt like you could take out.
Yeah. Like I said, they put their nuts on the table, man. They were like, look, we're doing something crazy, and then we're gonna do something real. You know, that's even scarier than the made up shit. Because the made up shit is not gonna scare you because it's so made up.
And this one was by Lee Hardcastle. Forgot to mention that.
Does he do anything else?
Just a bunch of other claymation shit.
Oh, really? Are they scary?
No, it was just literally like just straight up like made for TV stuff. Whole bunch of things.
Okay. Interesting.
So the next one, U is for Unearthed by Ben Wheatley. This is the one where it starts off with like a POV. We're seeing it through a person's eyes running through the woods. And they're getting chased by townsfolk. It's like a priest, a cop, a couple other people. And we kind of make out that this person is like feral, some type of monster. And
oh yeah, it's a point of view one, right?
Yeah, because at first it just looks like they're getting hunted, but then we end up seeing the POV person we're watching bite someone in the neck. So then you're like, all right, it's a vampire or a werewolf or some shit.
That's what I thought.
And they end up getting caught by the townsfolk. They get pinned down, and we get this like I said, we're seeing this from the perspective of the vampire. It's like laying on the ground. There's people with torches and shit standing over him. A priest fucking stakes him.
And pulls his teeth out.
And then, yeah, there's a guy with pliers that pulls its teeth out. The guy with the pliers says something like, we're going to make sure your children don't know how this ended.
How it ended, yeah.
Then the fireman comes up, cuts the fucking head off. They're walking off with the head. I think you can see the body when they pick the head up. And that's more or less how that one ends. Pretty simple.
It was pretty simple. I thought it was cool, though. Like, it was simple. It wasn't much. It was like a monster and all that. I liked the POV part of it. I really liked when he says, because it kind of gives away when he's like, I make sure your kids don't know how how this ends. Because then that gives you, okay, it's a townsman. And I guess at this point you already kind of know it's a vampire, but right there it's like, oh, okay, it's a vampire, a werewolf. They're taking his teeth out. They don't want them to know, the kids know that he turned into a vampire and stuff like that.
Yeah, that just gives a little bit of weight to the moment.
And then the steak, it was like, okay, top it off. Yeah.
So I mean, that's the one probably like marquee you'd give to it, like it's just the POV of the creature rather than the other way around.
Yeah.
But not a whole lot to say about it. Like, there's just not a lot there because like you can't really comment on acting.
No,
They
'cause
didn't
there wasn't
show a lot.
much. Yeah, they didn't show a lot. They didn't act a lot. You know, they just kind of fucking.
Like it's like it just happened.
Yeah, it is real quick. I felt like. Well, and I guess there is like him looking in the woods and they're like trying to find him. Thought that shit was cool. You know, and I'm never like I didn't really like. I guess this isn't a POV, but I didn't really like Blair Witch Project. Well, there's one element I respect about it, but and that's the fact that the director like lost the map on purpose for them to freak out. Like I think that's cool, but like that's kind of what that reminds me of. This very bland. Like it just kind of did what it needs to do, I guess, and you know.
There just wasn't a whole lot to talk about. Like if we did a podcast on Blair Witch, it's kind of. You ever seen Clerks?
Yeah, I love Clerks.
You know the second one where he's making fun of Lord of the Rings, where he's like, all it is he does like this thing is people walk in. He's like the first one, the second one stumbles, the third one, and then he drops like a ring.
Yeah, was that the comic book guy was saying that?
Yeah. But so that's kind of what it's reminiscent of, you know. Like there's just not a lot here to dissect.
Yeah, definitely not. It just is what it is. Pretty self-explanatory.
For me, you know, because of that, like I didn't hate it, so I'll go 2.
I was gonna give it a 2 as well. I didn't, because I didn't hate it because I respect.
It was different, but
yeah,
it
was
didn't,
different.
Wasn't executed great. So next, this one was confusing as fuck to me. V is for vagitis, the cry of a newborn baby. Do you remember this one?
Explain it. I remember not. I didn't understand it. Vaginas. I was like, vaginas.
Vaginas. None of us do, man. So this one is it's a lady cop and a robot. They kick a fucking door open in a warehouse, and they both start just dumping on some fucking random white folk.
Yeah, my people.
These guys look like what are the people they're shooting at? They look like
it's almost like a unit of
rebels.
Rebels and futuristic stuff, right?
I guess. Like I said, there's not a lot of explanation in this, and
was the robot a baby? Is that what they're trying to say? The robot was a reincarnation of something?
Nah, the robot's just a fucking robot, like some straight Fallout, you know, backup for the cop.
Yeah.
And it ends this first shootout ends with like them cornering a couple that's holding a baby, and the woman cop, she's a female. She's about to let them go, and we end up seeing when the camera's panning around the couple that the baby's like got fucking the lady has some weird fucking throbbing thing going on behind her head, like if she's got a parasite. Yeah. And the baby's eyes are glowing.
Dude, I really don't remember this one too much. I remember the robot and the shooting. Like, that's really it.
You probably don't remember, bro, because it was very convoluted. Like, I'm trying to explain it and I can't explain it. I feel like I'm decent at explaining shit. When I have trouble explaining shit,
it's kind of like a lot going on.
Like, I got lost in the sauce, bro.
I definitely did too, because there was like it was a cop and then like the rebels or whatever, and then they were.
So rather than explaining this, I'm going to just say what I remember what happened. So the robot fucking notices that this cop is getting like hypnotized by this baby. So the robot fucking just snatches the baby and bites its fucking head off. The baby gets its head bitten off, which was interesting to see. And the lady cop's like, "What the fuck were you doing?" The name of the fucking robot's in here. Nesbit. The robot's name was Nesbit. That's tight.
Nesquick.
She's like, "What the fuck, Nesbit?" And the robot's like, "Oh, you were getting hypnotized." And immediately after that happens, some pasty white dude covered in tattoos comes in the room. He's got like a skull tattoo on his face. And he does some crazy ass monologue that I don't remember. And then at the same time, we're getting flashbacks to this like lady cop like in a interrogation room. And apparently in this like world, this universe, this movie is built, people have to get permits to have a baby. You've got to join like this police force to be allowed to reproduce.
Dude, I'm glad you're explaining this because I
That's a
really
crazy
don't remember
premise.
this. That is a crazy premise because I actually talked about this with my buddy the other day about like what if you had a permit to have a child.
I don't know if it's definitely a controversial opinion. I don't think that's a terrible idea.
Yeah, I was. I wasn't like. I didn't think it was a terrible idea either. Like, I don't think like it was funny because we were talking about it and we were talking about. I can't remember what I said. The downfall of it, because it's like with the everyone argues about the abortion and stuff like that controversy, and then it's like, well, what if you have a permit to have a kid, and then if you do get pregnant, you just get an abortion because you don't have a permit.
Well, because think of all the people that have kids that shouldn't be having kids.
That was the argument, right? Yeah,
Like-
that's what we were talking about.
But then, see, the fuzzy part about that is you're asking the government to do that, and then then the government's in charge of who's having babies.
Yeah,
and
who's
that's
having
a whole
babies.
nother fucking can of bullshit.
Right. You're like, nah, this motherfucker can't tell me what to do.
Motherfuckers don't want the government to tell them like what to do with their recyclables, let alone whether or not they're gonna have a fucking baby.
Have a kid or not, yeah. Yeah, that's what we brought up. I feel like there was another point I had that was along the same lines, and my friend was like, that's true. Maybe it was that, but I swear it was something different for sure. But yeah, it is a crazy thing. It's not always a bad idea, just like you said, because yeah, there's a lot of people that probably should not have kids.
But so that's a whole nother fucking. We could easily talk about that for like 20 minutes.
Right.
Probably.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So anyway, so this chick, right? That's why she's on the force. And then we flash back. Fucking the bald albino guy. He reminded me of like an anime villain. Because he's wearing like this monk's robe. He's got some like little fucking Asian monk hat. Right. He's walking around with his hands behind his back like a karate instructor. And he's doing this monologue. I don't know what the fuck he was talking about. And they're scanning this baby's body, the headless baby's body. And apparently babies in this universe are like psychic monsters because the robot looks away from the baby for 1 second, but when it looks back, it's gone. And this little headless baby body that's, like the size of the Chucky doll just starts fucking murking people. I don't remember how it does it, but it does. And so
was there like lasers or some shit? Or like there was like green or something like that? Or am I tripping?
I can't even fucking
That's
remember,
what I'm
dude.
saying. I don't remember this. I remember it. Like I remember the robot. I remember that. I kind of remember the baby. But I swear I'm remembering like a fucking laser or something. I don't know, man. Maybe the psychic, he was just fucking killing him. Like, I don't know.
Somehow, dude. I just remember that the anime villain tells the fucking robot, because the robot's trying to shoot the baby as it's running. And the anime villain guy's like, just shoot the baby's head. And one of their own guys is holding the baby's head. So the robot fucking has this like minigun on its arm and it just lights their fucking boy up. And that's how it kills the baby head.
Right.
And I think at this point, whenever they start shooting, I think the female cop flips for some reason at this moment. And she puts her gun up at the fucking anime villain guy. And the robot shoots her, I think.
Yeah, I think the robot finished it all. I think that's what I remember. Finished the scene, right? Or is there more to it? It was kind of long, wasn't it? I feel like it was very long.
This sounds long the way I'm describing it.
Yeah, it sounds
bro.
long. But maybe it wasn't.
So, okay, after this, I'll just read what it says. So the baby's head ends up turning out to be alive and possessing some psychic power, and it proceeds to blow up the anime villain's head. And while the dying father tells the female cop that she is its mother now. Because at the end of one of the montages she's having is that she finds out she's infertile. Do you remember that part in the interrogation room? So she does all this and she ends up being infertile.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that was a lot.
I think that was a little too much in one scene.
That was too much. Like,
way too much.
Because
overboard.
Remember the one with the pressure one where the chick's the fucking hooker and she has to squash the kittens?
Mm-hmm.
That was just about the right amount. Like it felt like a lot, but that felt like the right amount.
Yeah, it developed a story, and maybe it didn't have to do with the story, but at least, well, it did because she lost her money, so she had to go do something.
Right.
But like, you didn't need to know. I guess it could have just been someone random that robbed them, but according like it's a stepdad or like a ex boyfriend, so it gives more to it. So it's like a little okay. You put a little bit extra in there, so it gave it more flavor, right? But this one, I remember just being way too much, and like even you describing it, I'm like, dude, I totally fucking forgot.
Bro, I got mush mouth as shit trying to describe this.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much to unpack.
Yeah.
Like apparently, I think I was reading about this one. It was supposed to be a full movie. Maybe like as a full movie, it could be cool. But trying to squeeze this all into like 8 minutes or whatever it was.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, when you say that, it being a full movie, because if that's like a 2-hour movie, maybe it could be cool. I don't know how cool it could be.
I mean, there's robots and headless babies, bro.
Right.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting and out there, right? And it could be just like a ridiculous movie. It could be fucking, if it's done well, it could be done right? But I don't know. I think, like you said, if they try to put so much in 8 minutes, it felt, so that would make a lot of sense. It'd rather be like a 2-hour movie. It kind of looked like the robot from, what's that one with Hugh Jackman? I felt I got that vibe.
Real Steel?
Real Steel. I got a Real Steel vibe from it.
I thought of Fallout. You ever play that game?
Yeah, I know.
Like
Fallout.
any of those fucking like
yeah,
robots
I
that
felt
are
like
rolling
that
around.
too. I didn't play it, but I know what you're talking about. I know exactly. I've seen. Yeah, I know Fallout. So, but yeah, I felt that too.
I think if they had taken out some shit from this, I would have enjoyed it a lot more.
Yeah, same.
So for me, I'm going. I want to say 3, dude, but because like of how convoluted that was, I feel like I gotta go 2.
I'll give it a 2 because of the action in it, and like, because there was a lot. Like if you looked at the production of this scene, there was a lot in it. Like, you had a big ass robot. Like, I think they had lasers, they had guns and shit.
The robot by itself is a 3.
Oh yeah, the robot was dope. Like the
Like,
robot was pretty dope.
It looked like it was really fucking. It might have been really there. I don't know how the fuck they did the robot.
Yeah, I don't know how they did it either, but it looked real. And like you said, like it could be stretched out into an actual full movie. So, and because like yeah, even when they put in the infertile part, like that's like an emotional play on it. Like she's infertile, and then the whole baby thing. So it's like,
and even the actors, bro, the female cop. I remember, like, I have this thing right where a female can't pretend to be a badass character. Either she can be a badass or she looks like she's trying to be a badass.
yeah.
Like, have you ever seen the Divergent movies?
I did not like them. That's
I know, but my point is,
I saw the first one. I saw like half. I ended it. I clicked off because I couldn't watch it.
well, in that movie, she's this like timid character, right?
Uh-huh.
At the beginning, she's a timid character.
Right.
Throughout it, she's a timid character. The second one, they tried to spin it, bro, to where she's like the chick from Alien. She's like Ripley.
Right.
It didn't fucking work.
Didn't work.
Because she's believable as this timid character, but you can't make her be this fucking fierce alpha fucking personality.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm comparing that because of the cop in this short, like I believe she was fucking badass.
Right. Yeah, she did come off like a strong woman, so like an actual badass. And you're right about that because like even like okay Ripley like that for example like she wasn't doing like crazy badass shit right in the beginning like I guess but like she was always tough right.
She was a strong woman. Like you
Yeah.
just got that impression from the actress.
And maybe she didn't do badass shit before that. Well, I mean she's on a spaceship, so obviously she did. But like maybe she didn't kill anyone or shit before that. But you still know she had it in her. Right.
All right, though. Back to this. What do you give this one? We talked about it. No,
you gave it a 3, right?
No. I gave it a 2, but I think I'm going up to a 3. I'll give it a 3 just because like the robot by itself was fucking crazy.
Yeah, I give it a just because I didn't know what was going on. I'll probably jump on the bandwagon and I was gonna give it a 2, but I'll probably go up and give it a 3 just
like
because
it did look that good.
It looked cool and it looked like an actual action movie. So yeah, I'll definitely give it a 3.
Right on. So next we move on to W is for WTF. This one is by John Schnepp, and it's the one that starts off with like It looked like He-Man, like the He-Man cartoon.
Yeah, it looked like He-Man or something you'd watch like late night on Adult Swim.
Like some random cartoon, like some parody of one of those cartoons.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Isn't it like just some like pervy skeleton squeezing some chick with like giant fucking boobs?
Giant tits, like, "Arr," and then it turns
it's
into
a close up of the fucking hand just pinching the nips and shit.
Yeah, he's pinching them, and then he said, what does he say? He says something like, "You're gonna die" or something like that. I don't know. He said something goofy.
I don't know. I was too distracted by the giant titties.
Yeah, those tits were nice. I'll give him that. You ever watch South Park?
Yeah.
You know when they're cheesing? Yeah, that's what it kind of reminded me of a little bit. When they're cheesing and they go to the chick with the hot ass, the big ass titties and shit. That's what that reminded me of.
And this one did something similar to the other short. Q is for Quack, where it's the director's pretty much stressing over what to do with W. And the dude goes down the list. It's like walrus, fucking. I can't think of the other ones. I just remember walrus.
Yeah, he said, "What about a giant walrus like Godzilla?" But it's a giant walrus in
that would have
over a
been
town.
tight, bro.
Yeah, I feel like I wish they would have did that.
You ever
That would've
seen
been
Tusk?
funny. Tusk? No, I don't think I've seen that.
It's the human centipede, but with the walrus.
Oh,
By Kevin Smith, the guy that directed Clerks.
yeah. I
That's
love
his
Kevin
movie.
Smith. So he did.
He did a horror movie called Tusk, and that's the premise. It's the human centipede, but with the walrus.
So there are 3 walruses, ass to mouth, or
No, it's a guy wants to turn people into a walrus.
oh,
Fire. I recommend it.
I'm gonna have to watch it. I like Kevin Smith.
But no, so W, they were looking at this whole concept of different W shorts. And what happens is, I thought this one was kind of cool. Like, it was a big old clusterfuck, to be honest with you. But throughout this, as they're like brainstorming, they check the news, some apocalypse is happening. And every idea this dude had is coming to life to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
There's killer clowns outside. There's a giant walrus attacking the city. Warrior is some hot chick in a fucking bikini,
Yeah,
straight
yeah.
Heavy Metal 2000. You ever seen that movie? The
Heavy
old
Metal.
animated movie?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that's a parody of. It's a chick who wears like this little bikini clad fucking
Yeah.
armor, but she's fucking people up with this giant sword.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's what that chick is. She's fighting the walrus. And this one was graphic as fuck. Because this is one of the... I barely started watching these before you pulled up. I did this one like 30 minutes before you came.
Mm-hmm.
So this is fresh as fuck in my head, dude. They showed some shit. This might be the most like practical effecty one.
Yeah, it is. It's like was it like a montage almost of just a bunch of different shit or whatever?
A bunch of people getting fucked up. Like one
Yeah.
dude, there's some cartoon looking fucking slug with like a circle for a mouth with teeth. And when it comes up to some guy, it fucking bites a circle in his fucking face. So his
Yeah, I
whole-
remember that. I
The whole
remember
inside
that.
of
Yeah.
his dome is just cleaned out, and you just see the bottom of his jaw.
Yeah.
Another dude gets a clown goes up to him and puts a pie in his face, and then the next shot is he tears his head off his shoulders, like pulls his fucking head
Yeah,
off.
isn't it with the pie still on him or whatever? Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the last thing is what happens to the director? The director gets his head cut off by the fucking warrior chick.
Yeah.
And the last shot is the director,
And then he's going like this. Yeah.
he's in that animated short with the pervy skeleton guy just stabbing his fucking head.
Yeah.
The effects were terrible, and it was all, like I said, a big old clusterfuck all joined together, man, but I liked it. I thought it was fun.
I liked it because it fit the, like, what the fuck, like, WTF. So, because I remember watching it, I was like, what the fuck is this? Kind of laughing, but the fact, like you said, they were terrible, and I remember looking up the guy Sneep or
But you
Schneep.
could tell they did it kind of on purpose, right?
Yeah, it felt purposeful. So, like, I couldn't really criticize, like, this is, like, done
Like, no,
shittily.
like, because if you say, like, that didn't look real, it's like, no shit.
Yeah,
bro.
no shit. It was way out of place. I mean, even his head, it looked like one of those crazy YouTube videos they used to make. Like, you know what I mean? Where it's like a bunch of shit just going on.
Because even the walrus, bro, like, it's just the backdrop of a city, and it looks like they
Yeah.
just green screened the walrus
A
in
walrus
another
city.
movie just looking back and forth.
Yeah. Like they literally edited Godzilla.
Oh, and didn't the walrus have laser eyes?
Yeah, it had laser eyes and it was fucking up the town. Yeah, I thought it was really fun, actually. Like, I did enjoy it because I like to... I don't know, I thought there was so much going on, and it was funny because the reason why I like this one so much is because it lives up to the title, because it's like, how do you die? What the fuck? And in the watching it, you say, what the fuck? Like, when you watch it, you don't know what's going on, and so you say, what the fuck? And then I said it and watched it, and then the title came up, what the fuck? I was like, oh, okay, fuck yeah, that's what's up.
Like, it's another one of
Respect.
those, like, it's not necessarily good, but I had fun enough to, like, feel like it's justified for me to give it a 4.
I was gonna say that's exactly what I was gonna say. 4. I was gonna say give it a 4 because it was so fun. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on that.
So, next up, we got X is for XXL by Xavier Gens.
Ooh, I actually like this.
Sir, I went to this little Mexican shop like around the corner from here. I didn't care for it. I won't name it, but I got tacos and wings, and I ate the tacos, and I was eating the wings for the last fucking part, the buffalo wings, the part where she's in like
Yeah.
the restroom.
Yeah. I bet that was terrible.
So fucking gross.
You know what's funny, dude? I told you I was eating during this, or I told you I'd go up and eat. I had wings. I went to Buffalo Wild Wings earlier that day. I had donuts because we got donuts. I felt like a fat. You know, you eat a lot, you're like, I'm such a fucking fat ass. And then this shows up, and I just had like a donut before it came on. That's so funny because I was like, oh, and dude, I actually had to look away because this shit disgusts me. I actually looked away because our food like came up while watching this, and dude, I had to look away.
This one was next level fucking graphic, yo. So like, all right, so it starts off with like an overweight woman, and to be honest with you, she wasn't crazy overweight.
She was fat, but it's like you notice she's bigger, but it's not like 1,000-pound sister.
She wasn't like 500 pounds. Like if I was to guess, she was probably mid 200s.
Yeah, like 250. I'd say good 250.
Wasn't
maybe.
like 500-pound life big though.
And she was a little tall too. I feel like she was a taller lady. I want to say so. It was proportionate.
But pretty much, we get this like this picture in a day of her life, and the shittiest people in the world live in France apparently.
I guess.
Because everywhere that bitch went, she got called fat pig.
Yeah, the guys came up to her and she's just like walking, and you feel kind of like
Some guy
alone.
randomly goes, "Excuse me, ma'am." She's like, "You're fat." Then he just keeps fucking walking, dude.
You kind of feel, dude, like obviously you're gonna feel for her, but I really feel for her when she's like walking alone. And then, dude, what I really liked, like the cinematography of it, is like she comes into a lone house, and it's like, oh man, this girl's alone. She can't find nobody. Everyone's fucking calling her fat. Like you feel really bad for her, and it like even the tone in the setup was a little darker. Like you just felt like, you know, I'm a guy who I go in my room and I turn all the lights on because I not like I'm scared of the dark. It makes me happier, I guess, to have so like seeing that, I was like, God, it's just so sorrowful, you know.
It's very depressing.
Yeah.
And so this chick goes home now after having this horrible fucking day, and she turns on like an aerobics channel or some shit. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's like this hot ass chick working out. They're talking about how to lose weight, or maybe it was a diet. No, I think it was aerobics.
Either aerobics or diet, something
Yeah,
like,
something
or positivity. I can't think of it. Spiritual, uplifting shit.
Yeah,
Something.
like motivation to make you lose weight, I guess.
And so what this lady does is she goes to her fridge and takes out everything.
And this
I don't
is
remember
why
what she was eating.
away.
I don't remember what she was eating because this is the moment I started eating my fucking wings.
Oh, dude.
Bro, as she's like handfulling fucking butter.
Did you eat
mayonnaise.
the wings during the? Like, did you eat them?
Yes.
You continued
I
to
powered, but dude, I'm
You're
telling
an animal, bro.
I'm telling you, dude.
You're a
like,
psycho.
dog, and she's going. I got this wing in my hand. I'm literally going.
Like about to fucking puke.
Like, cause I'm like, I don't even know if I don't like these wings that I ate or if the movie just fucked it up.
Fucked it up for
Cause
you.
all these wings were like drowned in butter and some buffalo sauce I don't recognize. I'm just like, I stopped. I did. I haven't, but I'm not gonna lie, I ate like 5 out of the 7.
You're like, I was hungry, dude.
I'm a big dude, bro. I never stop. I was like, nah, we can't.
I'm the same way, man. You know, I'm a bigger guy. And I'm a proud fat kid, right? But so like when I was a kid, dude, if I saw too many worms that day, I wouldn't be able to eat spaghetti if I had spaghetti food. Like I get grossed out by food. Like I have a buddy, he just eats like with his mouth open and just lets and he likes to eat just gooey, slimy shit. I don't think slimy shit like boogers and shit gross me out. Like I have a phobia of it. So. Dude, and I'm telling you, because you said the wings, I was like, oh, I remember the wings. It took me a minute because, dude, I swear to God, I put my like I was like a little girl, like covering my fucking face because I could not watch
As
it.
she was shoving shit.
And I looked over, it was my buddy just fucking eating a donut. I'm like, dude, how are you doing this, bro?
It was definitely like stomach churning, bro.
Oh, it was.
Like it was real
gross.
disturbing the way they filmed it. Like it looks fucking it looks very disturbing how she was eating so aggressively.
It should, yeah, and it's like it was almost like everything was just goo because she just shoved it in her mouth, and it was just fucking just sick. And then also because like I like to eat a lot, I like my cheat days, you know, but man, like. You know, sometimes I'm like fucking, you know, drunk or whatever. I just want to start fucking eating everything in the house, but so it makes me reflect on myself. Like, god damn, I need to chill out.
Maybe that's why it hit us a little extra in the soul, bro. Like we got to make some changes, man.
Probably, man. That's probably what it was.
So she gets done eating, right? And what she does is she gets up and she goes to the kitchen. She gets a knife. So the first thing she does she strip? She gets into her bra and underwear. And she cuts into her stomach and just slits on each side. So then she fucking sucks her cheeks in.
Yeah, and then does
cuts
it to her
each of her
face.
fucking cheeks. All right, you're like, okay, I'm not sure what you're doing yet. I thought maybe she was gonna start pulling fat out or something.
That's what I thought. I thought she was cutting her fat off.
But she didn't get that far. So
No.
she has these gashes and she goes to the restroom now.
Yeah.
And now she sits on the toilet. And this is like a legitimate scary scene to me where she's sitting on the toilet. She looks fucking out of her mind.
Yeah,
bro.
she's like kind of laying like this, like belly out. You see the fucking slits right here, the slits on her face,
and she's still got the knife in her hand, and like this POV is of her like on the toilet. You're just kind of looking at her on the toilet, and out of nowhere she just fucking screams and stabs into her fucking thighs.
Right.
Cuts her fucking thighs, and she's screaming while she's doing it, bro. And it's a legitimately creepy scene to me.
It is. It is. It's already disturbing enough to see her eat like that, and then to add that in there, right? But like, what really freaked me out was her legs, man. When she did the leg,
It
and
looks
then
real as fuck.
it did because the meat was like coming up, right? And you could just see the fucking meat in there, and I was like, this is pretty like. I mean, I've never seen anyone do this, but if I did, this is what this would look like. Just the fucking meat, and it was so. And she was a big lady, obviously, so there was a lot of it, and it was like, oh, bro.
Fucking, and after that, she goes into the shower.
Mm-hmm.
And does she get a fucking, what are those called, bro?
Oh, was it a sawzall?
A turkey cutter?
Was it a turkey cutter or a sawzall or something?
I've never
like that?
learned the actual name. It's like some electric cutter thing.
I want to. No, it's not a sawzall. Sawzalls are small.
Sawzalls
yeah.
are hardcore, bro.
Yeah. maybe it was a turkey cutter. You're right. I don't know what they're called, but yeah, it's like almost like a chainsaw, right?
It's like a
But
blade
smaller.
on some type of little handle that fucking like just vibrates.
Yeah.
And she started cutting at her, like, she looks at her underarm fat. She cuts at that, and you kind of seeing the silhouette of it. And then we get like a time passing montage.
Mm-hmm.
And then all you see is this like flesh covered fucking foot, completely dripping with blood, come out of the shower. Little small legs, just fucking real gingerly. I don't know if I'm using that word right. Gingerly?
I don't know, but she had a tight body when she cut all that fat off. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, she was walking real like slowly, and yeah, camera pans up. She's skinny as fuck now, but she doesn't have any fucking skin.
Yeah, she looks hideous because she has no skin and she's gross. But what I liked was she just kind of went like
She does the pose.
the little pose, and she kind of looks like the chick in the
on the TV.
in the aerobics. Yeah, the aerobics. Yeah.
And immediately after she does that, though, she fucking probably dies, bleeds to death.
Oh yeah, I mean ABC's a death, right? So yeah, she just falls over and then she's bleeding. But I was thinking, I was like, dude, it'd be so funny if she just died from something else and she lived for a minute or something like that. I knew they weren't gonna do that, but I was like, because I was really thinking, I was like, could you live like that? I was like, there's no way because you're gonna bleed out. But I mean, you cut all your fat off, you don't have any skin. Like I know if you get burnt enough of your skin, you're gonna die. So I don't know.
Well,
You know
no,
what I
that's
mean?
not what kills you. Usually what happens is the smoke. You,
Is it the smoke?
The
Okay.
asphyxiation kills you.
So you get so basically, if you get burnt so much, your skin is just disgusted. You won't die from it,
You can get filleted, bro, and be alive. Like, you could be skinless.
right? So that's like okay. So basically, yeah. So she was like skin. So I guess she could have lived if she didn't bleed out. Maybe if you got the hospital real quick. I mean, that's probably nearly impossible. But
Yeah, because they could treat you, I'm assuming, but
ugh.
nah, doing it the way she did it, bro, she bled to death.
Yeah, and she was so like, oh, dude, that like hurt. Kind of like hurt, man. But like, do they even show the back of her legs? Like, she just looks like. And don't get me wrong, I like thicker ladies. You know, not.
Bro, you put the right lingerie on that female, why not?
That's what I'm saying. Cause she was like thin, like one of those models who are like actually like the model, like thin, skinny legs, waist, and like has the petite. She was petite, and I was like, wow, oh my gosh, like she had like like you said, you put a bikini on her, she actually looked pretty good. So it was I don't know, it was wild. That was wild to think of because I was wondering if she was gonna actually look good.
Now, the real question is, what do you rate it?
Dude, I'm gonna rate this one. I haven't given the thing a 5. I want to give it a 5 or 6, man, because
I almost feel like you can't give it a 5. Like, you almost have to give it a 6.
yeah.
Because you got to ask yourself, why wouldn't you give it a 6?
yeah, because really there's no flaws. I mean, it's disgusting. I looked away. I don't look away from movies. I looked away because that shit hits me deep. The whole food thing and the whole like the way she's living, kind of disgusting and stuff like that. Like her house, right, and stuff like that, and like. The metaphors of like maybe like whatever fat shaming they're trying to say or something like that.
Like, this is what we all look like underneath the fat or some shit.
Yeah, and then it's like she was actually hot when she cut off her. Well, besides the skin part, she actually was hot.
And then the other thing is you get what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, okay, that's what I wanted to talk about too. About this is like, okay, do you get what you wish for? Like, was she happy? Because like she was pretty happy when she was posing. Like, I finally got what I wanted, even if it kills me. It killed her. Was she okay with dying from fucking being
like
skinny?
you said, it kind of looked like it.
But like, and here's another thing: is she's the only one who saw herself, right? She's the only one who saw herself alive, looking like that. And that one little moment of her looking pretty in the mirror was all she ever wanted. You know what I mean? That one little thing. Everyone called her fat. Everyone made fun of her. That one little thing of her looking in the mirror. She's all skinny and shit. That's all she ever wanted. I can die now. That's all I ever wanted because I've been called fat my whole life. It's kind of deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Like, that's the whole thing is she got what she wanted.
Yeah.
So, for me, 6.
Yeah. It was disturbing. It was definitely a masterpiece for sure.
It was fire. Now, after this, we go Wise for Young Buck by Jason Elsener. This one was fucking trippy.
This was like the nuclear rice thing, right?
No. This was the one with the kid who goes hunting with the old perv.
Oh, this one was trippy. I was like, oh, yeah.
Bro, the perviest looking old man. Like, you can't, that man, no. There's
always
nothing
a
that
white
dude
guy.
can do, bro.
It's always a white guy that looks like a fucking perv, man.
Like, if there's,
it's always an old white guy.
like, I'm not saying, like, if there's ever a lineup and they're looking for a pedo, I'm not saying it has to be that guy, but he's not going home.
Oh, he's not going home. They're taking hold on, sir.
He's going to be in a couple lineups, bro, and like 10 alibis away before he gets away.
They're like, all right, number 2, stay here. The rest of you can go. Number 2 and number 4 with the mustache. The rest of you can go.
Yeah, because this one starts, this is like another music video one, kind of like Dogfight. Because it's literally just music playing, there's no dialogue.
But that was the perfect music, by the way. It was funny.
It was. So it's like this kid in the woods with this pervy looking old man. He's teaching him how to bow hunt, and he's about to shoot a deer, right? Mm-hmm. And also, while this is happening, there's flashes to this guy. He's a janitor at a school. He's watching some kids play fucking basketball. Mm-hmm. These are the sweatiest kids in America.
Yeah.
And the old man notices that as they're sitting on the bench, bro, they're like dripping fucking all types of ball sweat and ass sweat. And yeah, he's just fucking beating off right outside of this door, just at the sight of this sweat on this bench. And like I said, it's flashing between that and then him in the woods with this kid. And it's implied that he molests this boy.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's one scene where the kid's sitting, like, in some shrub, and you just see the old guy pull his pants down.
Right. That was kind of towards the end, right?
Yeah, because I mean, between that, he's like cutting the deer's head off and shit.
Yeah.
And so we flash back to the gym, or while he's watching this game, he sees like, are you familiar with the Wendigo?
No, I don't think so.
It's like a Native American thing, like a man with like the head of a deer or some shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's kind of what that looks like, because he sees like the silhouette of like, it looks like a person with a deer head.
Mm-hmm.
But the school bell rings and mob of kids come out and he loses sight of it. And now he's focused back to this fucking sweaty ass little boy bench.
Mm-hmm.
So the next shot is him going into this fucking gym. And he's, did you
Yeah.
expect it?
No, I didn't. Because I really didn't even like when I was watching it. I was like, he's a because like I kept watching the hunting part, and then it kept cutting back, and I was like, okay, I guess he's a weird. Well, then he pulls his pants down, right? I think that was before he does the whole sweat thing, right?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right before.
Right before. So I was like, oh, he's a I think it was right. Yeah, I was like right before because I was like, oh, me and my friend were like, oh, he's a fucking perv, and then which I guess you kind of get it earlier on, but like, and then that's when he just goes full throttle and just starts licking up that sweat.
He's looking at
son.
this sweaty ass bench, and he drags his tongue across
and the
this.
music was perfect, bro. It was almost like that Ferris Bueller music, that like porn music.
It's like a 6-foot bench, bro, and his tongue goes the full 6 feet.
Ooh, yeah, he does. It's real slowly and sentimental. Oh.
And then when he gets to the end of the bench, though, he's met by a pair of antlers, some deer antlers. And he looks up, and isn't the kid that he touched fucking is holding the deer's
Yeah, he's
head.
holding the deer and he's all bloody. Like his face is all bloody and shit.
He's all covered in blood. He looks crazy as fuck.
Yeah.
And doesn't he shove the fucking antlers into the guy's eyes?
Eyes, yeah. And then he rips his head off, and then it goes through the fucking.
He throws his head through the basketball hoop.
Makes a little hooper young.
And then that's how it ends, is him walking out holding the fucking deer's head, right?
I think he puts it on his head.
Puts it on his fucking head.
Puts it on his head. I thought this one was pretty good.
It was different. It was cool. It was the bare minimum, I think.
Really?
Not bare minimum as like bad, but I mean it was. Oh, what's the way to describe it? Like I thought that it was better than most for being like one of the better ones.
I think I actually like this one a lot because it's like, for one, it's like, okay, the pedo gets what he deserves. I'm gonna be honest. Maybe I just was like zoning out at the moment, but I didn't expect him to lick the fucking sweat. Like right before he pulled his pants, when he pulled his pants, I was like, oh, it's a fucking weirdo, you know. But and especially from the beginning, he's teaching the dude how to hunt. Like, yeah, he looks creepy. Hey man, I'm white. I see a lot of creepy white people in my family. So
Maybe that's a culture thing.
yeah, so I
As soon
noticed.
as I seen him, dog, I thought of the guy from Family Guy, Herbert the
the
pervert.
pervert.
I immediately was like, oh, this dude's gonna touch this kid.
He does look creepy. Hey man, he does look creepy. I mean, right away I noticed he looked like a creeper, but like I didn't think I didn't think he was gonna molest him. Like I don't know why. My head was just not. I'm usually good at that, but I'm good at scoping out some pedos, man. I'm good at telling who's a kitty toucher or not, but you know who's fucking scoping out the recess yard or not. You know, I'm good at scoping out those guys, but. I don't know. This guy, I knew he was a weirdo, but the pedophile thing, I guess I was zoned out because I didn't really, it just came out of the other side. I didn't realize
like,
it.
as he was showing him how to hunt with the bow, bro, he's like fucking caressing the kid's fingers.
Maybe I looked away and I didn't see that
you didn't
part.
catch like them little hints, bro.
No, I didn't catch the little hints. If I would have saw that, I would have been like, okay, he's a weirdo. I must have just didn't pay attention.
Yeah, so for me, like, it's not that it wasn't good. It's just, like, I kind of expected it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I couldn't, like, because when I'm rating it, I'm probably going 5. Like, it was good. I liked it, but I wouldn't call it, I wouldn't put it up there with Dogfight or
No.
Vito.
I wouldn't give it a 6, but I wouldn't give it a 4 just because, like, maybe it's just because I like the fucking when he was rubbing his hands. I didn't notice that.
Nah, dude, the way they told the story was fire. It was a good fucking story.
Yeah, for sure, it was a good storytelling, and then him killing him with the deer was like it was out there. I was like, oh shit! So the kid got his revenge. So it was cool. It's always nice to see a pedophile die. So I liked that. So I give it a 5 for sure.
Hell yeah. Nah, this was fire. I sign off on a 5 also for this one. Now, the next one, Z. Z is for Zetsu Metsu, parentheses extinction, by Yoshihiro Nishimura. This was the rice one. And it's funny that we call it the rice one because there's so much other shit in there.
Yeah, I didn't notice it was rice until later. I thought it was maggots. Well, I saw the sushi and I was like, is that sushi? And then I was like, maybe not. Maybe it is. And then like,
Would you call this the weirdest one?
a lot of them are pretty weird. I think it was.
I feel like this one, for me, I'm just gonna be upfront. I didn't like it. I feel like it tried the hardest.
I didn't like it either, but I didn't think it was the weirdest one. If you want to answer, I didn't think it was the weirdest.
I don't know, dude. There was some chick running around with like a 6-foot fucking strap.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, never mind.
That a sword came out
She had a
of.
sword came out of her dick, and then it was fucking, and then like, yeah,
She fucking shivved some chick with it.
yeah. Never mind. I totally forgot. I'm forgetting so much.
Bro, they showed like six fucking Asian dicks. And then they launched off in a
Oh
space.
yeah, that's right. I see a bunch of little peepees lined up, and then you got them.
And every time they're eating sushi, they hold the sushi up to their fucking dicks.
Yeah, I remember that. I forgot about that. Yeah, never
I don't
mind. This
even-
is probably the weirdest one.
I don't even want to try to like chronologically describe how this one went down, bro, because it's just so many ridiculous things.
Yeah, the chick had a big dick. But hey, was that dick her dick?
No, it looked like a strap on.
Well, it was a strap on, but when she cut it up, and then it all went into the
Soup.
Soup.
Or whatever it was, the crock pot.
yeah, and it was like chick. The dick was chicken, and then the other stuff was something else. But then she died from that though. She died from her cutting her
Yeah.
strap. So I guess it was her dick. But it's like also, why would you want? You would never want a dick that big. That would even be, everyone wants a little extra, but you don't want. That's a little too far.
Dick, you gotta fucking like use as a pillow.
Yeah, you have to fuck a giant. Like if you want to fuck, you're fucking a giant, man. You can't fuck anything real. It's not realistic. You're not reproducing.
You gotta go out and find an elephant or some shit.
Yeah, you got a fucking elephant. That's exactly. Yeah, exactly. Maybe
That's
a
the
giraffe.
only thing that could handle that.
I don't even think a giraffe could probably handle it.
Nah, you'd kill the giraffes.
Yeah, definitely not. Elephant or rhino.
Maybe not even a rhino. Dude.
You don't think a rhino could?
I don't know. I don't like to think about that.
Yeah.
My mind went to you took me to a dark place for a
Yeah.
second. I was like, you know what? Maybe it could.
Yeah. Wait, why am I thinking about this?
No, but so are you able to at all like recall this one? Like there was
Well,
just so much shit.
There was so much in it, so I can't really recall it. I feel like it's kind of hard to explain because it was like she came out, she had a saw coming out of her dick or a knife or whatever.
Well, before that, there's some Japanese guy talking about how it was China or Japan.
I don't know.
I
but-
can't remember. They were talking
it
about
was
how their
Japan.
country was superior to the United States.
Yeah, because there was a hit. Wasn't it the same one? There was a Hitler, and
It was
then
a
it turned
swastika,
into,
and it turned into some cross.
yeah, it turned into some cross, and then there was the guy with kind of longer hair, right? And he had glasses on. He was talking.
Yeah, he had a monologue in a
Okay.
wheelchair.
So yeah, I guess that was the weirdest one because it kind of made no sense.
And there was this blonde Asian chick in like a Nazi costume.
Hmm.
Fine as fuck.
Yeah, she was fine, but she was the one that had the big dick, right?
Yeah, she pulled out the giant. It was literally, bro. Is it like a 4-foot like inflatable penis? It looked like.
Yeah, it was like this thick, and then it came up like to here.
Like it looked like a log in her fucking hand.
Yeah, like a big log, like a tree, like a fucking you chop down a fucking or a fucking redwood tree, dog.
And there's like 6 naked dudes eating rice
Uh-huh.
or sushi or some shit. And you got full view of their wieners. Like they made sure you saw it.
Yeah, they made sure, and yeah, circumcised, uncircumcised, the whole 9 yards. Try not to pay attention too much to it, but it's kind of
like,
hard.
it's kind of like Lion King, like the circle of life. We saw it all.
We definitely saw it all.
And like I said, at some point, this female has a giant dick and like a sword comes out of it. And she like stabs some other random Asian chick with it right in her cooter.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. And then the other Asian bitch,
She's like, she's supposed to be burnt in half her body.
yes, and rips it off, right? Rips off the fucking knife.
Oh, yeah. She catches the dick.
Yes.
And then she takes the knife off and she starts just slicing this chick's fucking,
Yes.
6-foot schlong.
Right.
And the pieces of it are falling into this crock pot. Oh, before that though, even fucking weirder, dude. She's catching vegetables and she gets down on the fucking ground, spread eagle, puts the vegetables into her fucking snatch, and she's launching them out of her fucking
and
cooch.
hits her. Yes.
And they're not hitting her. She's fucking slicing them with her fucking dick sword.
That's what it was. And then it went into
It's
the
falling
bowl.
into the crock pot, like all different vegetables, like 4 different ones.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 4 different shots of this chick shooting different vegetables out of her fucking snatch right into this chick who's slicing it with her dick sword.
Mm-hmm.
And as ridiculous as that sounds, then she takes the sword off the dick, cuts the dick
it, and
into
it's
the
chicken,
crock pot,
right? Yeah, chicken.
and they all eat it. And then, like I said, the fucking 6 naked dudes are wearing funny rocket hats. They fucking launch up into the air.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if because that crock pot was like definitely, I feel like an American meal. Maybe
Yeah.
they're commenting on American meal versus sushi. I don't know. Because that was like what? It was like I don't know, chicken and carrots and looked like a little gravy, kind of.
It's the Japanese again, of course.
Right.
I don't know, man. Like I said, I didn't care for this one. It's another one. I think it's another art thing that maybe we just didn't get.
I didn't get it because it was almost like, would you call it a montage almost?
It was a montage of different shock scenes, but if you
Yeah.
couldn't call it a montage because they were all connected.
Yeah, I guess they all were connected, but I guess a montage. Well, because they're doing the same shit. No, yeah, I guess you wouldn't call it a montage, but yeah, I think it was the weirdness. I guess I respected. And I thought it was funny. There's plus there's hot chicks in there. But yeah, I forgot. That's crazy. I forgot about the big dick thing and then the knife.
You forget the big
I don't
dick.
know because you know why? Because I thought this is what I was fixated on, dude. Was I didn't know
You said the rice one, bro.
the rice. This is okay, dude. I did. Oh yeah, I think rice came out of the fucking dick when she pulled the thing, didn't she?
When she
Just
pulled- Yeah,
when she pulled the
because
knife out, didn't the
they
rice
made it
come out
look
of the
like
dick?
somebody blew a load in the fucking rice can.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Well, okay, here's the thing.
You walk away from that thinking of the rice, bro.
Because I thought the rice was maggots and it was fucking gross. And here's another thing, dude. I told you in the beginning of this, I hate food mixed with horror. It's just so disgusting to me. So I was so fixated on like why they're combining this horrific scene with food. I mean, obviously that's gonna scare me, so I like it, but I also hate it grosses me out. So I was so fixated on fucking cooter-filled fucking vegetables with fucking cooter juice all over it. And then a dick turning it into chicken and then rice everywhere. Because at the beginning, there was like a weird shot of what were they in? Like a weird dark alley or something? And there was like a sushi.
Yeah.
And then was there a creature?
I don't think there was a creature. I
There
remember the
wasn't-
little sushi they were looking at, though.
Yeah, because I was like, that looks like sushi. And then it changed to something else, I feel like.
Nah, dude. I mean, this was shot well. Like, it looked good.
Oh, yeah, it definitely looked good. It almost kind of reminded me of, honestly, it kind of was like the dog one. I guess not really like the dog one, but I thought the dog one was kind of shot well. Not like the dog, I mean the electric one.
I think this was
Strip club.
stylized, and it was all one theme. Like, it all looked like a very specific style to however this director does shit.
Right.
And I think for the consistency, you give it a point. But for me personally, like I said, it just felt like they were trying to shock you at every fucking frame change.
Yeah. It was definitely playing hard on the shock value thing, for sure.
So me personally, I think I'll go 2.
I wanted to give it a 1. I think I'm gonna give it a 1 because I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I was grossed
I feel
out.
like this one fucking segment is the reason why I could never show this to like a family member.
Oh no, hell no.
Right?
Unless
Like,
it was like your cousin or something like that.
because most of this shit's passable, but like this one and what other one would like really fuck it up?
You think the pedophile one maybe?
The one where they're
or maybe I don't know, a lot of one.
a lot of them, dude. There's a lot of
There's
next level shit. in
There's
this.
a lot of next level because I don't know, but like you look at the good ones, like the ones we gave 6s and 5s. Well, I guess there was 1 5, right? Which one did we give a 5? Was that the fat one?
The fat chick.
Okay, that was a really good one.
Or no, we gave that a 6. The chick who was stomping kittens got a 5.
Okay, yeah, Stomping Kittens got a 5 because of the story, and you take the 6s we gave, the dog one, all those, and you just showed them that, like they'd be like, oh, they probably would have a different outlook on the rest of them. You know what I mean? Because it's like obviously those are the best, but those actually have some next level like storytelling that I could actually show to people and be like, dude, this is kind of fucked up. But if I'm gonna show like, I guess even the pedophile one, the fucking dick one, the rice dick one, and what's another one that was totally, or even the what the fuck one,
The fart one.
the fart one especially, that would look like a totally different. I mean, those look like they're from maybe the same person versus the fucking well, I guess the 6, the jack off one, but like, that was a 6, but. Well, no, that wouldn't even count. But yeah, no, the fucked up shit. Like if I showed that versus the 3 6s we got, right? I don't know. That is like totally 2 different movies.
Yeah, like some people just wouldn't at all like even attempt to finish this
No,
fucking
they
movie,
would not
bro.
even try it. Not even try it.
Like I feel like me and you got a very distinct like appetite for being able to just for the curiosity just to watch them to see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. Because I wanted to. I mean, that's like I didn't. What was it? Like the shit one. Like I didn't think it was scary, right? We were talking about it wasn't scary. It was just kind of like whatever. But like it was very interesting, you know. So it's like I want to finish it. Just be curious of what's gonna happen here.
Right, man, because like just to come up with that fucking concept and to see where you go with it, all right, well done, sir.
Yeah, for sure. But and then also like some of these stories, like that, the fact that there's some shitty stories in there gives it respect to the people who pulled it off. You know what I mean? Because it's like, dude, you really pulled that off, man. You know, you really did a good job. Like, especially like your favorite one, the jack off one or whatever the fuck it's called.
The jack off competition.
Jack off competition. Like, you pulled something off that if I told you, like, hey, there's a movie about a jack off competition, everyone would be like, what the fuck? But the fact that they pulled it off is good. Right. Now, the other ones, I don't know. Like, the other ones, the fact that they didn't pull it off and it was, like, either too gross or too weird or too obscure or too lazy. I don't know. It gives the other ones way more respect.
I feel like there's no such thing as too gross. It's definitely the too lazy. The effort's the one that gets it.
Right.
Like the miscarriage, the gravity one, the ones you could tell like, all right, they went out and they filmed this in like 2 hours.
Right. Well, when I say too gross, I kind of mean more like corny.
You mean shock?
Yeah, I guess more shock. Yeah, it's like, okay, you're just
like even the fat chick one was gross, but that was like. It was, well done.
It was very well done. Well, because that's the thing. If you do something super gross and it's not well done, it's like...
It's corny, I guess, like you said.
Yeah, corny. That's what I mean more than gross than corny.
Shit, man. We're about 4 hours in now.
Hell yeah. All right.
So, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. ABCs of Death, fire.
Definitely.
Like, I feel like, once again, we said at the beginning, this isn't for the entry-level horror fans. Like, if you, like... only watch The Conjuring and Insidious and shit, you probably want to find somewhere else before you step to this type of shit.
Yeah, I definitely. It's more for like the movie nerds like us, for sure.
Like more for curious people who go on like internet fucking quests.
Yeah, definitely.
But you want to go ahead and plug your show, man?
Oh hell yeah, man! So the Lucas Shirley Show, currently just on YouTube, but I'm gonna try to get me on all platforms here soon. Check into it. I have Sean Cuisine coming out, and a couple buddies of mine, also another episode coming out soon. Yeah, so tune in, man. Thank you. This is awesome, dude.
Yeah. And also Death Taco Podcast, guys. I'm currently on Spotify, Google. I think I'm on Apple. I'm not sure how to fucking check that one. YouTube. Look out for the Death Taco Reacts videos also, which I'll have you do at some point also,
those
man.
Are hilarious. Those are hilarious.
But once again, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for coming through, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
greatly appreciate it. This is the Death Taco Podcast.